What the fuck? I hadn't had it muted, and then I muted it to talk. That's what I did. Okay, let's start over the conversation. A lot of you have been asking who the serfs are in chat. The serfs are... Okay, hold on. Is there a way to slow down the chat? Because there's a lot of trolls, and that needs to be dealt with. Well, people will probably talk less as time goes on. Listen, hey everybody. The Serfs are a YouTube channel and Twitch channel. Hold on, I can't get this full. I need mods. That's what I'm learning. Move and hide user. Excellent. Excellent. And just for good measure. Yeah, they're gone. All right, sorry about that. Boy, there's going to be a lot of trolls here tonight. I get that impression. Listen, the Serfs are an awesome YouTube and Twitch channel. Lance from the Serfs will be joining me a bit later, I think, so that we can discuss everything that's going on with the protests and things like that. Why does the chat look so small? You know why? Because that's Twitch chat. That's Twitch chat. That's gotta go. Hold on. You can see the chat anyway. You don't need it on screen. I'll fix that for next time. Oh, man, these fucking... yeah, so for those of you that didn't see on Twitter, there are so any donations that I receive today will be going straight to a fund that splits between 70 different bail funds. I would prefer that you donate directly to them, just because that way YouTube doesn't get a cut. So it's up to you, whatever's easiest for you. If you just focus on Super Chat and try to grab mods as time goes by, you'll be good. That's a good point. How do I turn on slow mode of the chat? Is anyone familiar with YouTube chatting? I haven't used a YouTube stream since I was much smaller, and I would get like 5 or 6 people watching. I'm not beating Jacob, voice actor of Double Trouble, yet. I don't know what that means. Holy shit, there is 600 people in the chat. Yes, it's called Act Blue. I assure you it is not a cop website. I will I will drop the URL in chat. There you go. Please kick that one jogger troll. Again, it's moving so fast, I can't... Jesus, there's... Proholmunka. Is there like... There seems to be a delay in banning people. You like my shirt? Thank you. This is my favorite shirt. I often wear it when I'm filming because the lights and stuff, I get extra sweaty if I don't. And this shirt breathes really well. Just came over from the Serfs debate. Be kind to Lance. That was awful. Love your work. Who was he debating? What was the debate? I volunteer as mod. It's not gonna work for me. Just random people. Hail the Butter Horse, see? Yeah, Jogger's a poll campaign. I know that, but I don't know who everyone is referring to. Sweet Tunes, thank you. This is Pexel. Why isn't this Twitch? So, Lance and I were discussing this last week, and we want to try and see it on, if being on YouTube reaches more people or raises more money, and now is a good time to do that when the money is going to charity. And so far, like, there's almost 700 people watching right now. When I stream on Twitch, I get a tenth of that. Oh, here's this Jogger troll. Yeah, there's gonna need to be more mods, I can tell this. Someone give Thought Slime an air conditioner? My new apartment that I'm moving to in August is gonna have a central air. I'm so pumped. It refers to Ahmed Aubrey, given that he was jogging when he was murdered. No, I know that. And that's fucking gross. Like, these people, these 4chan trolls, like, what do you get out of invoking a man's death like that? Like, you know, do you ever have a moment when you ask yourself, like, are we the baddies? You know? I love your content, Thought Slime. Thank you. Who's trying to grill? What? Is that a Mario on your wall? It in fact is. So I've talked about this many times in the past, but this was actually here when I moved in, and my landlord was like, "Oh, don't worry about that. We can take care of that." I was like, "No way, no way. That's staying." That means no more sweaty summer episodes. Well, who knows? Who knows? It could not work. It could not work very well. He's debating Tree of Logic. She let him talk for 7 minutes and 5 seconds in an hour. I counted because she would not stop gish galloping. I don't know who Tree of Logic is. Yeah, I don't say Mario right, okay? It's fine. It doesn't hurt anybody. My question is, video games? I'm not going to be playing a video game today. I just feel like, given the nature of everything that's going on, I don't, like, with the protests, I mean, I don't want to dance around it. Like, everything that's going on with the George Floyd protests, I don't want to just sit here and play a video game and pretend like that's not happening. And I don't think that would be respectful to you or to the people risking their lives in the front lines. So I'm not going to do that today. Is my stance on that. It doesn't mean I'm never going to play a video game again. It's just that's where we're at. In case you're curious, I don't know if Lance remembers saying he wanted to do this with me today. Ghost, thank you for the $5. So far, we're up to $50 for the 70 plus bail funds and mutual aid groups, etc. Minneapolis, yeah, you can fuck. Oh, I didn't mean. Hold on, let's get this. Hey, YouTube algorithm. Here's an idea that you could use from me, Thought Slime. I'm not much of a developer. I didn't do great in computer school. One thing you could do is you could scan someone's avatar, and if it's the smiling merchant, you can just go ahead and not let them onto your website. Say Mario however you want. Support from Hamilton. Oh man, Hamilton's got a big anarchist scene because of all the the Watchtower. I've never been. I mean, I've been to Hamilton, but I've never been to the Watchtower. I actually really like Hamilton. I think it's a great city. Doing great work out there, Thought Slime. I know it's old, but congratulations on 100K subscribers. It was just last week. It was like Friday when that happened, so I kind of expected, honestly, that the Turner Diaries video would put me over the top because I knew that was the type of thing people wanted to see. Joy Patone, thank you for the $10 in GIF. Your videos make me really happy. Glad you're here. Thank you, GK. Solidarity and Trans Rights. Thank you, Lexi Deneko. Have I listened to Sewer Slut? No, I have not. I assume that's pronounced Sewer Slut. Maybe I'm just being very rude. All love to POC and LGBTQ plus solidarity plus love equals power. Agreed. Thank you. I want to tell you. I want to tell you. I get it. I got it. Jake Buck, thank you for the $3.99. I love you and your content. Thank you so much. Rob Cole, thank you for the $10. Mario says, trans right, those colors don't lie. Indeed, he does. It is well known that Mario is a trans man. Spoon, thank you for the 10 units of that currency. I apologize if I'm missing anyone's super chats. Once again, all of this money is going to the bail fund. Link in the description. If you're able, it's good to just donate directly. That way YouTube doesn't get a cut. And so just so you know. Keep up the good work, and good work, everyone. Thank you, Meg Osland. Do you hate it when Americans move to Canada? I've about had it. I don't really care. There's no real difference between America and Canada, aside from, like, you know, which country has better conditions. Like, culturally, we're not that different as much as we like to pretend that we are. I am here. I don't know what this is. Hello, I'm Thought Slime Thumper. I make videos on YouTube. I'm hoping that Lance from the Surfs is gonna be here. He apparently was in a debate that didn't go so great. And I'm not sure that he remembers that he asked me to stream with him. I don't know. In advance, my name is... Pardon me, I had roti tonight, so I'm a little gassy. In advance, my name is pronounced Anya. Thank you for all your content and love from a baby anarchist in the US. Thank you, Anya. I want you to know I would have got it wrong. You were right to explain it to me. Thanks for the opportunity to contribute. PS Right. No, thank you for contributing, PS Right. This is any orgs in Montreal? Definitely. The Anarchist Book Fair is held in Montreal every year. Lance turned me onto your content and I can't stop watching. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you, Chris Vanderlyn. Today is Tiananmen Square. Look, you just... Does that mean it's the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, or is this person making a threat? Let me know. Decide their fate. Solidarity with El Sol here. There's no they. You're amazing, Thought Slime, and I hope you are well. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent here. I've been watching a lot of speeches by Alan Watts. And one of the things he talks about, and I don't know if this is correct, but this is how he explains it, is that a lot of religions, including like Zen Buddhists, Hindus, and Taoists, think of the universe as all one thing that occasionally tricks itself into thinking that it's other things. So like you are not just yourself, you're the entire universe tricking yourself into thinking you're only you. And I don't know how accurate that is to like the actual theology of those religions, but I find it a very beautiful idea. Protest in Oshawa, Ontario this Sunday. You gotta watch out, Patrick Mensuri, because there have been a lot of like fake calls to action by fake BLM groups in Ontario lately. So make sure wherever you're going, you're safe. FYI, still refer back to your ACAB explainer video. Thank you. I actually have seen that video is like really getting a lot of views right now, and I think that's telling about where we are. Thank you for not hating when Americans move to Canada. We might be neighbors in a few months. I welcome you with open arms, I want to tell you. What's my favorite D&D monster, homie? First of all, DM Kelsey, $100. That's amazing. That's going to help a lot of people. I guess I'm going to have to be basic here, but it's got to be the Beholder, right? It's a giant eyeball. What's not to love? That's me all over. Hate when debates go poorly. Said here things didn't go super well for the Serfs. This is all I'm hearing secondhand, Anthony Moss. But hopefully he's doing all right. Love you all, but mostly Matt. Now let's get some people out of jail. Hell yeah, Thomas Binney. I like that. I like the idea of thinking that, like, we're setting people free. Keep pumping out that sweet slime. I'm addicted to its tangy gushiness. Thank you for that cool message. It's not making me grossed out at all. The Juggertroll has been in Christo. I've Alice's streams too. I don't know who that person is. He's real persistent and efficient. Keeps making alt accounts to get around bans. Be wary. Oh, I got my hand on that ban hammer. Don't you worry about that. I'm gonna be quick and angry with my bans. Protesting tomorrow. Should my sign read "My girlfriend's husband is a cop"? Yeah, sure. I mean, that's funny. I saw there was a tweet where a guy was saying, like, people are saying you should protest with, like, whatever skills you have, so I'm offering myself, I'm offering the service of, like, eating out the wives of any cops who are out beating up protesters today. If you were able to get into debates, would you prefer the loose webcam style like Destiny or suit and tie and moderate style like Politicon? Love your work. I think I would probably prefer the suit and tie style because I'm not very forceful as a speaker, and I find that if I'm like in an argument with someone, it's really easy to speak over me. So. We love your slime in London. Oh, awesome. A cab brick. That's a great username. You know what? Heck it. Let's free some peeps. Revolt. Hell yeah. Opinion on Marx? Marx is very good, is my opinion. Today's actually the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, every June the 4th. Just so you don't ban the guy. Okay, good. That because look, we're getting a lot of trolls here, so I thought maybe they were like, today's the day we're gonna do one, you know. That's how that struck me. That's how I've been primed. Nuke the Whales loves the show. Also love that username. That's the poster in Nelson's shack. Because you gotta nuke something. Number keeps going up, that's wild. Mara Fulsey, thank you for the $5. Serfs debate is still going on. Turner Dyerswood is great. Okay, so it looks like Lance is still in the debate. $50, thank you, William Cruz. We must always do better. Remember that the battle is not won once or permanently. Keep doing the good work, brother. Greetings from an Italian comrade. P.S. Will you ever do a sci-fi spin-off of the Scaredy Cats channel? Not really. I don't... Like, I love sci-fi, but I don't have the same passion for it that I do for horror. And it's not my intention. Look, I have too many YouTube channels as it is. I have a lot of YouTube channels. Don't make me make more. Thanks for everything, Thought Slime. I've been using your ACAT video to explain to a lot of people right now, and it's been helping. That's good to hear. I think a major flaw of that video, and if I could go back and do it again, is because I'm white, it didn't even occur to me that I should really have included a lot more talk about how police violence disproportionately lands on people of color, and indeed neurodivergent people. And that's, I think, a glaring problem with that video that I would, someday love to correct. Thank you for the real up and down day at the casino joke in a vid on your other channel. I still think of it and smile. You have brightened my day so many times. That's really nice to hear. Because that's always what I want. I always want to make people's day a little bit better. I try to, there's Justin McElroy. I believe it's his Twitter bio, but he said, and I'm not going to get the quote exactly right, but he says, I feel an intense desire to, and will to the best of my abilities, try to increase the amount of harmless good cheer in the world. And I very much identify with that. Pride is canceled. It's time for Queer Wrath Month. You can have 2 months. Give me a scary film I can wrap up with and watch. What do you mean wrap up with and watch? You mean like watch in bed? Like a cozy horror movie? A cozy horror movie? Like, to me, that's something like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. That's like my good place. That's where I go to like feel okay. I've used some of your talking points during Real Tough Talks with my alt-right parents. Thank you. Well, thank you for having the patience to try and walk back your parents. I know a lot of people, that sounds real tough. I'm sorry you have to go through that. I don't know. I guess maybe for you it's like, what choice do you have? But I still think it, reflects that you're quite brave. Let's just go ahead and... Hey, if you're gonna be mad that abortion is murder, you should probably avoid referencing Hitler in your username. That dude did a lot of murders. Shout out to that Italian fan. Just wanted to recommend Workers in Capital by Mario Tronti. Really fantastic book by an Italian politician, Marxist. Oh man, my to-read list just keeps getting longer and longer. I learn about new books faster than I read books. Greetings from Mexico. And then it's in Spanish. I'm going to do it bad, but I'm going to try. Dos de Octubre no se olvida. I don't know what that means. Hopefully it's something cool. Most wholesome anarchist? I don't know about that. I'm up there, though, I like to think. Hey, I found out you're a fellow and calm Newfoundlander, and I love you even more. Please don't stop doing what you do. All right. Yeah, I once had a friend of mine, IRL, message me saying they were, who's from Newfoundland, which is the reason I'm bringing this up. And they were like, I was searching for videos on anarcho-communism, and I found you, and like, I didn't know you did this. And it like tripped me out, and I thought that was pretty cool. Am I a wobbly? Yes, I am. Indeed, I am. $200? Holy shit, that's gonna help a lot of people. Thank you so much. Appreciate your work. Love the Pim Tool Dunkings. Who doesn't? He's fun to make fun of. How many channels you got? I only know the 2. I have a 3rd coming up called the Mega Slime Entertainment Zone, where I'm going to play video games. I wanted to start off with Tonight We Riot, but I think now that's going to come off as pretty shitty. That would be a rude thing for me to do. So I think, I don't know, maybe Hollow Knight? Slimy Boy do a praxis? The chat is doing a praxis. We have raised over $1,000. $1,000 in super chats alone. Like I said, it's great to do the super chats. Doing it directly means YouTube doesn't get a cut. But holy shit, you guys are incredible. I can't believe we've been streaming for like half an hour, and we've raised over $1,000. If you could have an almighty one Western institution, education, healthcare, etc., into adopting a socialist framework, which would you pick? I would pick the police and let them abolish themselves, but real talk, it would be healthcare. It would be healthcare for sure. But I would love to abolish the police. If I could snap my fingers, Thanos style, and do that, I would. Gonna send you 1.1 eyeballs emails. You can't stop me. You're right. There's nothing I can do. I've lost all power, Andrew Mackey. Any reading recommendations? Keep up the good work. Lately, I haven't been reading that much, to be honest. I've been in a perpetual state of behind on work, so I haven't been reading as much as I should be. Right now, I have been reading for like almost a month, maybe more, a book called Nosferatu. It's spelled like a license plate. It's by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. It's quite good. But if you're looking for like, theory, it would depend on like what you've already read, I guess. I always recommend the same 3 books, which are The ABCs of Anarchism, Conquest of Bread, and Anarchy Works by Peter Gelderloos. If that's a good place to start. Have I shared American Johnson's article on police brutality yet? It's really good. No, I haven't. I haven't even read it. But I'm sure it's American Johnson. Like, that dude knows his shit. New Anarchist, new sub, love you. Protests should be disruptive. Your thoughts on state action, polite, peaceful protests? I was out at a protest because the teachers union was protesting recently because Doug Ford was doing a bunch of terrible stuff. Like, he was getting rid of kindergarten, and he was trying to he wasn't getting rid of kindergarten. He was trying to hire non-teachers to be the people who take care of kindergartners. And it was just dog shit. And all we did was like walk in a circle and chant. And I thought to myself, like, this is nothing. Because like, there should be menace a bit to a protest, right? Like, who really thinks that like this protest, like, we're like, anyone who's in charge doesn't care that you're walking around in a circle and chanting. They don't care that you're mad. There has to be like a consequence to them. That's my opinion. I sent you a Dem sock restaurant design for an eyeball zone. It's not big enough for a real eyeball zone, but can tell me what you think here. I don't know what you're referring to be honest. I've received many thousands of eyeball zone requests, so I don't necessarily. I read them all. I don't necessarily remember them all. I'm sorry. I don't remember things at the best of times, so it's not a judgment on you or the quality of your submission. It's just a judgment on my memory. Trying to start a citizen review board of my local police department. Any tips? I'm going to collect petition signatures and present at my city council meeting. Love you. Sarah, it sounds like you should be giving me tips, quite honestly, because I wouldn't even know where to start with something like that. One thing I will say, though, is that a lot of the times the police will just ignore civilian oversight, which is what, the Toronto police, I forget the name of our civilian oversight department, but they just there was a study that showed 1 in 3 times they just completely didn't even pay attention. They didn't even recognize that a suggestion was made. So just setting it up won't be enough. You're going to have people that are willing to fight long after it stops being exciting. I don't know if that's even useful or actionable advice, and you probably already knew that, but I'm struggling to think of what I should tell you. Obviously, know more than I do on the subject, so maybe this is NB-splainy. Want help with work? I'd help where I can. No, I don't. It's good that I'm very busy. I've deliberately set up my life to maximize busyness so that I'm very productive. I'm very energized with my work. I mean, how could you look at the state of the world right now and not be energized if your job was making leftist agitprop? No, I don't need any help. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. And if you catch me complaining, it's just because I'm whiny. It's not because my life is hard. Sorry, I'm so behind. Am I going to apologize to Xander Hall? I'm not gonna. No. I have friends who were helped by one of the funds we're supporting. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, $1,100. Just incredible. You've blown me away. I thought maybe maximum it would be 300. You and Non-Compete were instrumental in my journey to identifying as an ANCOM. Thank you so much for all the work you do. You rock. Thank you, Drew Babe. Thank you for the 1312. You know what that means, everybody? It means all cops are bastards. Thinking of starting an ANCOM YouTube channel, Twitter account. Any advice? Number 1, make sure that you use 2-factor authentication. Make sure that you don't give away personalized information, and set it up in the comments so that if anyone doxes you and puts that information in there, it automatically flags it and removes it. Another thing you're going to want to do is not use the same username that you use for anything else, because they will use that to track you down. Beyond that, I would say just get out there. Don't be afraid to promote yourself, because nobody else is. And, if you know anybody doing any eyeball zones, send them exactly one email. Grassroots Law Project for people looking for a place to volunteer for police change. That is good information. That is good information. Someone asked for the direct link just as I was thinking of posting it again, because it's been a while. There we go. I like to spam chat with them. I got one V in there. That's from hitting Control V. I like to get one, I like to spam them just so that it takes up a big spot in the chat. Boy, it's so fucking warm in my apartment today. Do you guys find that? That it's very warm in my apartment? A victory for one is a victory for all. Keep up the good work. Love you, Guts. I think you meant love you guys. We love you too, Juanita Schlink. Thank you for the donation of 50 Australian dollars, I think. $300 from Webster Duck. Solidarity forever. Thank you very much, Webster Duck. Holy shit. Will you be my best friend? My dad got a new dog and we can meet him together. No, I'm afraid I can't be your best friend. I'm sorry. Saw news today that Minneapolis City Council members have started discussing disbanding the MPD. Good things like that are actually making the news. I heard there was one politician who was like going full ACAB. But I didn't know that like it was catching on as a movement. We are the proletariat. Hell yeah, Mr. Kingman. ACAB, 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 ACAB. Yes. Yes, indeed. Vedia lupe. I assume that's a Latin phrase. I think lupe must have something to do with wolves. Anything that's got LUP is always wolf-related. Talisan Oberlander. Thanks. Thoughts on using classical literature to help lefties and others cultivate emotional intelligence? I don't know if classical literature necessarily do that, but I think you can do that with anything. And I think it's always good to, like, the classics are the classics for a reason. And if you have, like, a lot of knowledge about them, I think it's great to share that with people. Sorry, my sinuses are going nuts. Lots of love from, and I'm going to pronounce it real bad, and that's my fault, Aotearoa. I don't know where that is, but I'm assuming it's in New Zealand. This looks to be New Zealand currency. I'm very sorry for the way I said that word. I have this compulsion. If I see a word, I never just go like, I can't pronounce it. I always try to pronounce it because I feel like it's so disrespectful to not even try. Matt, if you ever do actually need assistance editing, like ever, let me know and I'll see if I can do it. Thank you, Sonia, and that would be great. You're a wonderful editor, but my projects are usually like I have editing to do the day before the video goes out. I finished tomorrow's video 10 minutes before this stream started. Have you ever heard of a comic called Homestuck? I've read a lot of Homestuck. I've never gotten all the way through it because it's really easy to lose your place. But it was what I read was good. I'm not obsessed with it like Sarah Z. Should I get 1312 tattooed on my forehead or just my peepus? Obviously both. It went away. Hold on. I was reading a super chat and it went away. I can't even keep up with how generous all of you are. This is astounding. It's wild. I don't have much to say except ACAB and alligators are cool. Agreed on both counts. Alligators are cool. Do you see that crocodile or alligator that was fucking up police? That's a perfect intersection of your interests. Last Super kind of broke trans rights, BLM, ACAB. Thank you, K.E. Bartlett. And can I get a trans rights in chat? Any tips on dealing with a parent so bigoted that they said you disappointed them for dating a black girl? Also, sorry if this is a duplicate. My tip would be, you don't owe them any information about you. I don't know if you live with your parents. If you don't, you tell them, I'm not going to see you if you're going to be like that. And if you want to, it can use the fact that parents want to have that connection with you as leverage. And you tell them, like, it's you give up your hatefulness or you give up me. If you do live with them, I don't know what to tell you aside from, like, at some point you won't have to and it'll be easier. But stay strong. From so-called Australia here, you meant to say love your guts, not love you guys. It's one of our... Oh, so, like, I love your guts. I see. I thought you were saying, like, love your guts. But yeah, like, because here we would say I hate someone's guts, but I've never heard someone say I love your guts. So maybe that's a uniquely Australian thing. Much love from an MLM. I'm assuming you mean Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, and not multi-level marketing scheme. See? This is left unity. We're almost at $2,000 fucking dollars. Guys, we have almost raised $2,000. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm scrolling up. I'm so far behind on super chats. I'm so sorry if there's, like, trolls running wild in the chat. Have you read The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin? I have it on my Kindle kind of permanently, but I have not read it yet. I have a sort of small vacation coming up. I might read it then. I'm going to try. Ottawa protest this Friday is requiring personal info for volunteers and is communicating with police. Please be careful if anyone is going. Holy shit, that does not sound like a protest you should... you would want to go to. I see the trans rights has finally hit the chat. That's wonderful. How can we as anarchists get through to MLs and other kinds of state socialists, if that's the right word to use? Well, first of all, I don't know if, like, get through to is the right, I think a better way to put it might be how can we communicate with people? Because I don't want to sit in judgment of others and pretend like I have all the answers, because I don't. But I think, people who disagree can learn from each other. And I think a good way to do it, and what I'm trying to do more lately, is approach people with compassion and try and be patient and things like that, and humility. But I'm, obviously that's not always possible, but I think when you approach someone with, like, an open mind, then it's easier to convince them. Because it's easier to hear them, too. I think that company that's going full ACAB is Lego. They donated $4 million and are pulling all police sets indefinitely. Love your channel, inspires me to work on my own channel. Do it! Yeah, I saw Lego pulled their cop play sets, and that rules. I saw also Barbie posted, like, a pro-BLM thing, and people were spamming it, like Barbie on Twitter, the brand Barbie. People were spamming it with pictures of cop Barbie, so I'm hoping that if that's still on the market, I hope that also gets pulled. That would be cool. Hey, from Birmingham. We keep knocking over Confederate monuments, but I can't remember history. Oh no. Seriously though, your work is a bright spot in my life, and I know everyone else is here. Oh, bright spot in your life. That is such a beautiful way to put it. I was going to ask if you meant Birmingham, Alabama, but then as the question went on, it became clear that you did. $2,000! Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I am floored by the generosity on display. Once again, as much as I like to see the number go up, and as much as that does help my particular vanity, please also, if you can, donate directly. That will mean that YouTube doesn't get a cut. But thank you to everybody who's been donating. Schreiber D, thank you for the 1312. You know what that means? That means all cops are bastards. leftist/project Music Rex. Have I read? Sorry, Music Rex. I haven't been listening to a lot of leftist music lately, but I love like Prophets of Rage, which is like a super group of Rage Against the Machine, and I forget the other group. I'm sorry. Eazy-E is in there, but they're great. Obviously, The Coup. Then there's Boots Riley's second band, which is Street Sweeper Social Club, which is him and Tom Morello. No Gods, No Bastards, All Cops Are Bastards. Hell yeah. Really happy I caught this stream. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be an anarchist now, so thanks a lot. You could also read that as, so thanks a lot. ACAB and Alligators are comrades. Hell yeah. You don't have to try and pronounce this username. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this and for the work you do on your channel. I'm doing nothing right now. All of y'all are the ones showing up and blowing me away. Thanks for all you do. 1312, Black Lives Matter. I don't know more. Hell yeah. Those are some of my favorite phrases. Sorry to super chat again. Why are you sorry for that, Anya? But any advice for neurodivergent people like me who may lack the oratory skills to convince white family members that ACAB? Don't be afraid to write your feelings down if you need to. And like, there's so much media out there right now that can help you with it too. And if you need to show them a video, like, there's plenty of like, you know, people of color out there that are talking about this. There's so much like on Twitter videos of like what the police are doing in response to these protests. Maybe try showing them some of that stuff. Sorry, my sinuses are, it's like there's a bubble in my sinuses. It's really uncomfortable. Wealth redistributed. Thank you, HB Alpha. Am I please let me be caught up so that I can go down. BLM 1312, hell yeah, Isabel. Kuet Lachti. ACAB, thank you, Manian. Manian, I recognize you. You're a patron. I know you. 1312, it's the number, guys! Okay, I read that one. Okay, now we can start scrolling down. Maybe you make the mods for the Discord, YouTube mods as well. I already have, I'm pretty sure. Oh man. Okay. Beep boop. Come on. Okay. Sorry everybody, I am so far behind. I wish I could just have a super chat only view. So that I could just read, because I feel bad about anyone who's donating and not getting their message read out. Okay, that one alright. 1312, thank you. $10, thank you for the cute dog gif, Gordon Bonthron. Mike Craig, thank you. Werewolves are cuter than vampires? Hell yeah, they are. Solidarity from Ireland. Fic direct provision. $3,000 for leftist unity. Take that, racism. We're only at 2.2k. Would you consider Victor Hugo a leftist? I don't 100% know who that is, if I'm being honest. I feel like they're a writer of like science fiction books, but I don't really know. Wait, I forgot to mention toads are super cool too. Hell yeah, they are. They're Mario's friends. What do you think about former President Obama's remarks on these issues? I think he's a complete fucking hypocrite, because I think he did the same thing to the Ferguson protests, and he said the same type of divisive rhetoric about the Ferguson protests back then, and Black Lives Matter formed under his administration because of his negligence, is what I think of that. And I think if anyone isn't seeing that the Democrats and Republicans are two sides of the same coin right now, then wake the fuck up, quite frankly. Sorry to get mad. I'm just... I'm holding on to a lot of anger that isn't mine to have, and I'm trying to check that. Architects for Lefty Music Rec. It's a metal band? Okay, everybody check out Architects. Eazy-E is dead? Oh, then who is it in Prophets of Rage? I thought it was Eazy-E. Oh man, my sinuses. Any advice for radicalizing lib family members? Try and connect it. I see that my headphones are dying. That's going to be a problem for me. Try to connect it to how much they hate their jobs. Everybody hates their jobs. Use that. I have a feeling Lance isn't going to be here, so I'm going to rename this stream. And save. Shout out from a big gay household, and in particular, thanks for your always being socially conscious of dissociative identity disorder. It's one of my own personal bugaboos. Also, ACAB, thank you for using the word bugaboo, because I love saying bugaboo. My big bugaboo is the helium thing that I brought up in one video. Anytime I see a helium balloon, people look at me, they're like, he's gonna fucking go off now. Just heard NYPD is losing 6 cops a day to resignation and expecting that to increase. It damn well better. Got my paycheck today, donating some of my hazard pay here, and even more directly to some bail funds and GoFundMes. Huge fan of your work, and thank you for everything you do. And thanks to all your donators in chat, 1312 BLM. Thank you. Are the Surfs still planning on joining? Doesn't look like it. Have you ever heard of State Radio? They were a leftist band from the early 2000s. I have not. Hashtag trans rights. Hashtag She-Ra for life. Thank you, Karina McDaniels. What do you think of efforts to defund local police forces rather than tackling the national structure? I mean, I say diversity of tactics, but like, I don't see it happening. It's usually the police and defense funding is the one thing that like gets ridiculous bipartisan support. So, I don't know. Gesture of No Chord is also a good lefty band, BLM. Thank you, Trainum13. Hey, Marcus Lycus, I know that drawing. I did that drawing. I did that one. What video should I check out if I haven't watched Surfs before? I would say check them out on Twitch. They're always on Twitch doing streams. And that's really where the majority of their focus is right now. But if you want like an amuse-bouche, you can see some of their videos that have me in them, where me and Lance are making fun of Tim Pool on their channel. 1312, thank you, Brian Lavelle. That's a cool name, Brian Lavelle. Forgot to say, one of the first vids I saw was your She-Ra video. I'm a male who loved Sailor Moon and girly stuff in high school and got so much hell for it. Much love. Yeah, I think any dude that did would get picked on for that. I wonder if it's still like that in high school now. Thank you for the $10, Maury. Victor Hugo is the author of Les Miserables and says ACAB in it, ACAB/BLM. I feel quite foolish for not remembering that Victor Hugo wrote Les Miserables. And we're moving on because I'm a little embarrassed. I'm an English major. Congrats from the FAU from Germany. ACAB, I will have to go soon. I have an appointment with my gender therapist tomorrow. Trans rights, can I get a trans rights in chat? So good luck with the rest of the stream. Thank you. Good luck with your appointment. I hope all goes well. Matthew Wilson, thank you. Message retracted. All right. So if you paid money to say something racist, then I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I'm talking out of school. Maybe you didn't do that. Maybe now I'm starting rumors. I shouldn't be doing that. In a world without private property and inequality, what do you think community security might look like? Would it not be required? I mean, it wouldn't be required in the form that we have it now, where like people would come and put you in jail, but like there might still be like violent behavior. But I think that the big difference we would have in that type of world is that whatever body protects people from that violence is made up of people within the community that are recallable by the community, not people who possess authority over the community, let alone people who possess authority over the community who aren't part of it, which is, how most cops are now. Doug OCR with the 5,000 CRCs. Don't know what that is. Thanks for all you do. You've been a great inspiration on my MB journey and can't thank you enough. Greetings from Costa Rica. Costa Rican credits? Coins? Cents? I don't know. I don't know what the currency is of Costa Rica. I'm sorry. Americans and Canadians, we don't know anything about the rest of the world. Because we're like off in our own little world. I'm an unemployed teen, but I helped my grandma with her car. So here's some of the money I got. That's wonderful. And that's going to help a lot of people. Thank you for that. Case Magniforce? I'm not sure I pronounced that right. Well, actually, it's more accurate to say I'm pretty sure I didn't pronounce it right. Just checking, is it okay to send money to the charity from another country? It is absolutely okay. Or would that cause legal issues for the charity or me or something? I don't think it would. I think it's fine. Donating the extra money I have from doing time theft today? Hell yeah. Stick it to them. That rules. Inuyasha or Sesshomaru? I don't know what the second one is, so Inuyasha, I guess. Loki from the UK is a great anti-capitalist / anti-imperialist hip-hop group. Check out Children of Diaspora. It was me who retracted. I've never used Super Chat before. Sorry, lol. That's alright. Don't worry about it. I assumed maybe like a mod deleted it or something. I wasn't trying to put you on blast. I loved your vids. You helped me realize I'm NB. BLM. Hell yeah. Brown Strongman. Love to hear it. And that's what we want. We want powerful NBs out in the streets. Thanks for helping me along the journey to be an anarchist. Let's defund cops and support BLM and trans rights. Hell yeah, Austin Sloan. We're almost at $3,000 and I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. Why is always police brutality is horrible, but the destruction must stop, and never destruction is horrible, but police brutality must stop? And also some rainbow hearts, because I had space left. It should just be, how come no one's ever saying, like, I support the police, but I don't support the violence they're doing? You know? If all these people are out there, like, showing support for the police, anyone who's supporting the protesters, if you see a protester doing something shitty, you say, well, obviously I don't support a protester doing something shitty. But the people who support the police are just like, what the fuck ever, let them go nuts. They're not all bad, it's ridiculous double standard in my opinion. $100 from Kevin. Can I get a trans rights? Hell yeah, for $100 you can get can I get a trans rights in chat? Solidarity from Ireland to BLM, ACAB, trans rights. Hell yeah. Thank you, Matthew Wilson. CRC stands for Costa Rican Colon. Okay. Who's my favorite Sailor Scout? It's Sailor Jupiter, obviously. She's the strongest one and the tallest one. Echoing someone else, what do you think we can do about non-black leftists co-opting this movement and decentering black liberation? I don't know what I can do about it because I'm one of those non-black leftists. I think that try to amplify black voices. Try and use your privilege to, help get their message out. But once again, it's a question I can't really answer. I'm part of the problem. In a way. Not even in a way. See, that was me defending my ego. No, I'm part of the problem, for sure. But yeah, it's not my place to answer that question. I'm sorry if that's not a satisfying answer, but it's true. "50% of police murders are disabled." Absolutely, yeah. And that's an important point to think. you're so much more likely to be the victim of police violence if you're disabled or autistic or neurodivergent in some way or mentally ill. Bans for Who Asked: Against Me, AJJ, Propaganda, This Bike is a Pipe Bomb, Iron Reagan, and then in brackets ACAB 1312. I don't know if ACAB 1312 is a band or just a statement of intent. Either way, I love it. Lorenzo Pacquiao, thank you for the $10. Man, my headphones are gonna die soon. The headphone jack only sometimes works, and I haven't been getting it to work lately. Lord Oculon is love, Lord Oculon is life. Lord Oculon looks on both forces with contempt. Love and life are meaningless to him. I'm going to a protest for the first time tomorrow. Do you have any general tips? Also trans rights? Yes, I do. Number one, wear eye coverings. Do not wear contact lenses, for the love of God. They not only can mason pepper spray get underneath them and cause further irritation, but they can actually fuse them to your eye, permanently blinding you. Number two, don't bring your cell phone. If you have to bring it, take out the SIM card, but it's better not to bring it at all, because if you do get arrested, the police will, without a warrant, go through your cell phone and use the data on site to form a case against you. Whether or not they're doing it honestly or not, they can take stuff out of context. You don't need that in your life. Number three, don't go alone, don't leave alone. You're making yourself a target for police or other fascists if you are by yourself. So go in a group, leave in a group. Have I heard of Blackout 666? Great leftist YouTuber and stand-up comedian from Toronto. I am friends with Sam. Sam and I know each other. Sam and I, anytime I've done a leftist meetup, Sam's been there. Sam and I have skateboarded together. I'm actually in a video of his coming up soon. He had me film a little skit. I don't know what he's going to do with it, because I just filmed it in front of my green screen. Hopefully he doesn't put me in front of a butt. That's my greatest fear at the moment. Sorry, I have no idea what I'm doing because I don't use YouTube to donate $50 to a bail fund and not that much time to YouTube because they platform fascists. Hell yeah, that's what I like to see. Directly to the fund. That way YouTube doesn't get jack. Good work. Y'all are my people. Love from Texas. Love right back. Also, LGBT rights are not that emphasized, and people here unconsciously say homophobic stuff because it's been ingrained in modern Filipino culture. It's been ingrained in every culture, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know what it's like in the Philippines. I imagine, given the political situation over there, it's not a great time to be queer in the Philippines. Did you hear about Nickelodeon's 9-minute of silence clip? No. And that type of gesture strikes me as completely meaningless. How about Nickelodeon airs like some stuff, more stuff from black creators? How about they donate a bunch of money instead of this performative, oh, we're gonna like put up a black square bullshit? Have I ever read Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin? You're the second person to ask in a super chat today. I haven't. It is on my Kindle. I will get around to it. I have a vacation coming up. Hopefully I'll be able to read it then. We're at $3,000, guys, gals, non-binary pals. I'm pogged out of my mind. At 1 hour in, $3,000. From a Wyoming lefty, there are dozens of us. $200, holy shit. I hope there are dozens of you. My favorite hobby is knowing the right-wingers in my politics class. Also, shout out to the time I got told to go back to my own country via you. You know, when I was a kid, for some reason, a lot of people thought I was indigenous. I don't know why. I guess, like, I have dark hair, but I don't know. And I feel like having moved to Toronto, I feel like I'm white as the driven snow. Oh, Lance is here. Lance is here, everybody. So, My favorite hobby is annoying the right wingers in my politics class. Also, oh, I already read that one. Yeah, but I don't know why I got that so often. But like you move to Toronto and it's such a diverse city, and it's like, no, like here I stand out for being like the whitest dude around, just like unbearably white. But back home, like people would be racist against me for a race that I'm not part of. And like, you know, I don't, like that wasn't like traumatizing to me because I've never, I'm not part of that race. So like it didn't like hurt me, but I don't know. I just find that interesting. Like what I'm not trying to do is like claim that, you know, oh, I've been the victim of racism. I haven't been. Thanks for everything you do. Your work is always both thoughtful and funny. Love you, BLM. Hell yeah. Indigenous, Australian, and Torres Strait Islanders need justice. And Torres Strait State. Okay, let's start this sentence over again. Indigenous Island and Torres Strait Islanders need justices. No cop has been convicted of a death in custody. BLM trans rights. Yes. I honestly don't even know about, I haven't heard about this, but that sounds fucking awful. And it's not surprising. Australia has the same hideous treatment of Indigenous people that Canada and the United States have. Can't give much because I have to repair my car this week, but BLM matters more. Hey, every little bit means something, Joe Meadows. Don't beat yourself up. Thanks for your work you do, and it took isolation during a pandemic. But I finally accepted myself as trans, and the videos you made about being non-binary helped me get there. Also, more importantly, Black Lives Matter. Both things are important, Emily M. Thanks for helping me feel more comfortable being NB, BLM, hell yeah. Once again, I apologize for any messages I'm missing. We're at $3,500. You know what is starting to worry me is I'm not going to see this money till next month, so I don't know how I'm going to donate it. This is, hey bud.
Hi, Thought Slime.
Hey man. Hey Lance. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Hey, how much money? I don't know if you've been watching my stream. How much money would you guess that I've raised so far?
I want to say, I don't know.
Okay.
$250, $500.
It's a bit more than that. It's 3.5 thousand Canadian dollars.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy! Oh, congratulations! That's amazing.
I mean, the people who deserve congratulations are all these amazing people in my chat that are just fucking generous out of their minds. Like, I can't believe this. I've been going for an hour and we've raised $3.5 thousand.
That's unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, they're all saying they can't hear me.
I've turned you up. They should be able to hear you now.
Hi, I'm Lance, one slurp of the surfs. You might know me from the YouTubes. I do the YouTube thing at youtube.com/thesurfstv. We like dunking on right-wing reactionaries.
Indeed, he does. Also runs an amazing Twitch channel.
It's okay.
I would argue
wait, no, Thought Slime.
It's like the eyeball zone of Twitch, because I think like most leftist Twitch streamers are like that makes them like pop off is your help.
Oh, well, you're too kind. I don't know how you define a leftist as, but like for me lately, I've been saying like I'm choosing mutual aid over how much theory you've read. You know, I'm choosing people who engage in helping each other out. That to me is pretty fantastic.
Hell yeah! I mean, I don't give a shit what people have read.
Yeah. at all, to be frank.
I mean, for example, I've read the Turner Diaries, and I didn't agree with that one little bit. Didn't like that one. That wasn't a great book.
So I'm just changing the title. Fundraiser with Thought Slime for Black Lives Matter. Matt, wow. Just wow. I'm unbelievably proud of you and humbled and happy.
Again,
and
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. No one should be proud of me. It is my chat and my incredible community that made this happen.
Well, all I can say is to Thought Slime's chat, because I'm looking at you right now. Hi, chat. Hey, you're all a bunch of cuties.
He's talking to you.
Thanks to every one of you. That's unreal.
Yeah,
you're all wonderful people.
Someone in chat did the math. It's $60 a minute.
$2 a minute. You're making that's Bezos bucks. You know,
Yeah.
you're making Bezos cash.
That's $1 a second.
$1 a second. Wow, neat. That's gonna be fun.
Just gonna drop the direct link, everybody. If you can give directly, YouTube doesn't get a cut.
Oh yeah, totally. Did you have it? Can you pass me the link? Oh, I see it there. Secure.act.blue. All right, let me flood the chat.
Oh, with your
yeah, his audio won't be synced because I'm playing his YouTube stream. Unless
Uh-oh. My headphones just died. Can you hear me? Am I echoing? Okay, good. My headphones died. Yeah. Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, but if there's an echo, because it's just from my computer speakers, the headphone jack on my computer doesn't work.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Hey, we have just over 1,600 people watching this right now.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I had a few more watching me because I was in a debate for the last 2 hours.
I heard. Yeah.
I had a debate on the internet.
Someone said that they we can't hear him. Oh, sorry. It was piping through my headphones. 1 second, I'll fix that. Somebody was saying that they counted the amount of time that you spent talking versus the amount of time the other person spent talking. And
did they work it out? What was the ratio?
You got 7 minutes, apparently.
We talked for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Oh, man. 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's really funny. I'm a little crickety. Oh, man. I don't know what to do. This is like when your dad is on the phone. I mean, I could say some fatherly things. Clean up your room. Clean up your room.
Clear up your room, bucko.
I guess I'll type fundraiser. No, I should type.
We're almost at 4K. Oh.
What do you use all this money for? Like, what nefarious schemes do you have?
It's going straight to the bail fund. The 70+ community bail funds, mutual aid funds, and racial justice organizers.
Oh, nice. You're splitting it up.
Yeah.
See, last time we did like a little mini fundraiser. I ended up sending it all. Originally, I was going to send it to the Minnesota one. Then when I got to the webpage, they were like, "Stop sending us money. We have money now. We have a lot of money." So
No, this is one that a guy set up that it automatically splits it up.
Oh, okay. That's good. So, sorry, did someone actually tell you that they calculated the time I was actually speaking for 7 minutes total?
It was 7 minutes at that time. I don't know if maybe you got in a lot towards the end.
Wow. That's that. Well, you know what? I'm happy because I feel like I decidedly made my points in those 14 minutes, and there was nothing more to say because we stuck on the same question for the whole time. She gave me 9 things she wanted me to answer, and I did weeks of research because it's on a topic I don't feel comfortable talking about.
Sure. Oh, I lost him. My voice has been disconnected because you reconnect. Come on. Discord, why you... Relax. Okay. Discord's going crazy. That's not Discord. I opened up Twitch. They have very similar icons. Now that I'm looking at them, actually, they're not that similar, but I just confuse them all the time. Sorry about that. I had two Discord tabs open, and I closed one, the one I wasn't talking to you on, and that cut me out of the call. I don't know why.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. But you said you had 9 things you wanted to discuss that you weren't quite confident on?
Oh, I had. Oh, they're effing me. Am I not on your end either?
No, it's just there's a latency. You'll be back. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is really socialist. All the scuffed audio. It wouldn't be a lefty stream unless we needed a lot of. Actually, I shouldn't say that anymore. Joe Biden streams are quite their own style of scuffed. So maybe.
Are you trying to imply that Joe Biden is not a leftist?
That's true. I don't want to get stuck on this road. Hey, no. You know what? I just spent the last 2.5 hours being strawmanned. I can't take it anymore, Matt. All right. I need some reprieve.
So who? I don't even know who this person is. This Tree of Logic person.
So they're popular in the conservative circles. Friends with Sargon of Akkad, and who else? They have a video with Jared Taylor. There's a video with.
That's not a great person to be associated with. Not a big fan of Jared Taylor.
There's one with Richard Spencer too. Although to be fair, I think the one with Richard Spencer is a debate. She's debated a few individuals on the right to alt right. She said I was the worst person she's debated, and that includes members of the alt right. So, and that's for someone who spoke again 14 minutes of the 2.5 hour.
So this is like, did she mean worst person as in like morally or worst debater?
I can't remember. Chat, can you? At that point, I almost felt as if I was on some kind of unknown substance.
Maybe she drugged you before.
Morally. Oh, it was morally. Yes, morally. So I'm more morally reprehensible because
Jared Taylor. Wow.
The Jared Taylor, Richard Spencer, 699 or whatever. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's both. So morally.
Oh, cool.
Morally ended skill.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, yeah, congratulations.
I mean, I did not expect to be bestowed with these honors today. I will wear them with the strange glee and confusion that I think it denotes.
Did I ever tell you about my weird, my run-in with Sticks and Hammer 666?
No.
Before I had any sort of like political, side whatsoever, when I was like a little baby suck them.
Yeah.
I was looking for videos about people's experiences with hallucinogens.
Okay.
And his Sticks and Hammers video was the first one to come up, and I watched for like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh man, what a fucking loser. Like, I don't want to listen to this guy talk anymore. Like, what if, like, I just got a vibe. Like, why am I listening to this fucking weirdo with no shirt, even though he's like so sickly thin, and he's just like hanging out in his living room with no shirt on, talking unscripted about a drug trip he had like 10 years ago. I'm like, what is wrong with me that I'm watching this? And then it was only years later that I realized he was one of the most respected, political streamers in the alt-right.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I don't know enough about him. I know him as kind of like the shirtless. Someone called him the shirtless Nazi or something like that, right? Is that an unfair characterization?
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, he's like a shirtless Nazi, like at a metal show. By the way, we cracked 4K. That's incredible. Thank you so much, everybody.
That's incredible.
When is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez going to come on my stream?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of ruining your guest tread right now.
No. Stop it.
How's your day been? What's new with you?
My day's been busy. As I said to Chad earlier, I finished editing my video for tomorrow like 10 minutes ago. So It's just been kind of nonstop for me.
What are you allowed to say what the
Oh,
topic
of course,
is?
of
You're
course.
normally okay
It's-
with that.
Yeah, it's just like I did a video a while ago that was called "Oops, All Eyeballs,"
Mhm.
but it's another one of those, but it's only Black content creators.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Did any of my suggestions make it in?
I think so. I mean,
Nice.
a lot of the suggestions were suggested by like multiple people, like Black Redguard or Deadman Animations, or
Mhm.
yeah.
Rage Weapon. I think I sent Jet Cloud, J100, Young Simba.
So far, they're all on the list. Yep.
Yeah, Saber.
Saber, I had already eyeballed. So
Okay. Young Simba of all of those would probably be the one I recommend the most. I just interviewed them, and they're absolutely fantastic. Wonderful person to speak to.
well, they're really funny too.
Yeah, they are. They're really, really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're on the list. It got to a point where like my goal was to do more than I did for the previous video, and I did, so that's good.
That's not to mention I'm still floored by what you just pulled off.
Man, I mean, I literally just pushed the button.
I just pushed the button. Are you a fan of Run the Jewels? I know this is totally non sequitur.
I like Run the Jewels, yeah.
What do you think of the new Run the Jewels album?
I haven't listened to it, to be honest.
Yeah, they raised I think $150,000 from that album already for the same causes. Yeah.
Black Goat 666 is in the chat. I wish I had an eyeball command for YouTube. I gotta set that up.
Is there such things?
Well, I mean, I'd have to set it up through Nightbot. And I would have done that today, but
Oh, you don't. Where's the pop-ups? I'm not seeing them pop on the screen.
what? I don't have any of it set up because I was going to do that, and then I just like I said, I was editing until 10 minutes ago, so
Yeah. No,
unfortunately,
I appreciate that.
I think I've definitely learned I should be streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch, though.
Yeah, you're like a 1K Andy.
Yeah, I was over 1K earlier.
That's wild. Well, yeah, that's what having 100,000. Oh, you cracked 105,000. That's amazing. Look at you. Oh man. When are you gonna get the plaque? When do they deliver you the plaque?
I'm waiting till I move in August before I request it.
Okay, fair enough. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm getting that fucking plaque.
Yeah.
Everybody who comes into my home is gonna have to look at it. And like, oh, see that plaque over there? That's for 100,000 YouTube subscribers. No big deal. I'm gonna bring it with me when I go to Starbucks. I'm like, oh, you're gonna charge me for the coffee? Okay. Just so you know, one tweet I could fucking bury you. Like,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Didn't know you charged plaque holders, but you know that's fair. That's fine.
You're gonna make me wait in line with the people here who have no subscribers on YouTube.
Wow, you changed, man. You hit 100,000. Now you're just a total elitist. That was fast.
I was always an elitist on the inside, but now I have like a number to back it up, you know?
Now I finally understand, like Stefan Molyneux and IQ, all the IQ measurers. You know, they just all want a number to back around.
Absolutely. And his IQ is what, like 8,000?
Oh, at least
It's intense.
it's over 9,000.
Lance, how has your day been?
My day's been wild. For a day spent in a chair, I went through a pretty wild ride. It was a lot of fun. I woke up very early today, and I spent the last 4 hours cramming for things I would never get to talk about. I learned an inordinate amount about Israeli-Palestinian history, as well as the history of imperialist Britain and Churchill, the Ottoman Empire, things like that. I'll never get to use any of it, so that was fun. And then I've been streaming ever since. And yeah, I guess just went through the news of the day. I mean, this is gonna, I guess, a little bit pertinent to what you're fundraising money for. Is that every morning I feel I wake up and I'm just completely floored by anything I'd missed from whenever I managed to go to sleep the night before. Whenever I could pull myself away from watching live feeds, because that's normally what my
Yeah.
AM hours are spent doing now. It's just watching the live feed of people and yeah,
The
it's harrowing.
every night I have to like do a guided meditation because I'm so like wired from watching like a stream where you don't know if you're going to see someone die at any moment. Like yeah, it's absolutely horrifying. And you know, my undying respect to anyone who's out there on the front lines and fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now for something completely different. Well, no, yeah, it has been something that like I wake up in the morning, I watch the footage, I then usually after about I'd say 40 minutes of that, I start to get enraged. I get what I think you call the righteous and furious anger. That begins to fester in me until it reaches biblical levels, and then at that point I rage tweet because I'm like, well, that's probably what I can do here in Vancouver right now is try to retweet every single horrifying video I find.
I think I've done more retweeting in the past like week than I've done in my entire life. Yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah, in the history of having a Twitter account.
Because it's like any single thing you see in the past week would have been the top news story any other week.
Yeah, every single day. Including all the times when journalists were attacked. When they were recording the news you're talking about. Those two would have been like the biggest story you ever read. Like, oh yeah, journalists got shot in the face by tear gas by a police officer. Like, wow, that's
fucking arrested for being there with a camera.
Yeah, that as well. You know, weird. I mean, it's kind of stuff they used to make fun of other countries for, but now it's just happening all over the place.
It's like it's a weird mix of emotions, right? Because in addition to the anger and like the helplessness and the, you know, the pain, there's also like a sense of hope out of it too, because it does feel like nothing's off the table anymore, you know?
Yeah. Did you see that Boots Riley just came back to Twitter?
Yeah. Well, he's always either on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I was going to anyone who doesn't know, he tends to stay on Twitter for a while and then obviously get fed up because it's a garbage platform that's just a hellscape, an endless void that'll suck us all in and consume us all. Mm-hmm. But when he does reappear, he's usually pretty base for the time he's here. And when he came back, the first thing he tweeted was that these protests have actually given me like hope for humanity in the first time in like decades.
Yeah.
So that put a smile on my face.
Well, like I think back to like anyone who's ever told me like, oh, Americans are too passive, they'll never fight, or like Americans will never accept, you know, police abolishment. And it's like, well, fucking look how foolish you look now, you know?
Yeah.
All these people tell me, oh, you're so unrealistic. And they're like, well, okay, let's see.
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, sorry, chat. To everyone who's asking for Tim Pool content, today, me and the wonderful Thoughts line have decided to take a wee break.
Yeah,
from our normally scheduled program to talk a little bit about the Black Lives Matter, and I should put up live footage. Why am I not doing this?
Yeah, where are you gonna look at it from?
Oh, by the way, twitch.tv/woke. I know it's like it sounds like a joke. Twitch.tv/woke. Unbelievable. They have just been the best possible source on this. It's like an aggregate of every possible source.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of the Revolutionary Anarchist War Room, which is like Gushin Gang and a bunch of other people that pull in sources a lot. Yeah, RAR, yeah.
Yeah, RAR's been awesome as well.
But yeah, we're not going to do Tim Pool content just because it's like, you know, it's not the time. It's just not. There's a season to all things, and right now Tim Pool shouldn't be the biggest thing on anyone's mind.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just gonna do that.
I need to learn more about how YouTube streams work.
In what respect?
Well, I've gotten so many super chats that I haven't like acknowledged now, and
acknowledge the people giving them.
Yeah, And I'm wondering
I
if
think it. Yeah, there's a collection of all of those. Well, if they're going to like a Streamlabs or something, Streamlabs will keep a collection. But if not, in your streaming dashboard, in the bottom right corner, you'll see the list of donos.
really. No. No. If I hit this button, no. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. They've changed the dashboard around a bunch.
Yeah, RAR has been pretty.
Holy
pretty
shit! Someone just donated $500.
Whoa!
Holy shit, Jesse Hitch, you're amazing. We're almost at 5K now.
That's unreal. Man, this is putting me in a really good mood.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
You think that, but then all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, here's the police in
Oh
Washington.
well, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I'm gonna try not to look at the news tonight, so I can get up early and put in more work tomorrow, because I feel like that's the best thing I can do. You know, rather
I
than
agree
just
with
watch a bunch of people get hurt and feel helpless and alone with it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let me just move this a little bit. So I'm still setting up the live stream. So far from what I see in this live stream, the Seattle Washington standoff is happening again. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but in Seattle Washington, they basically had this front line of like 2 or 3 rows of people where they were all holding up umbrellas. And at first I thought it was because it was raining, but no, they were using them as guard, like as shields.
Yeah, they
to
did
defend
that.
themselves.
Did that in Hong Kong too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just unbelievable. I just sat there with like my mouth open, like that is unreal.
It's all of the inventive ways that people are finding to like fight back against like the asymmetrical warfare. It's amazing to see. And how do people even think of that stuff?
Like what's one of the specific examples?
Well, I like the umbrella is the white shield. I don't know if you've heard of the white shield.
No, what's that?
It's when the police are like coming with like the riot gear and how they like club the riot shield with their baton and they're like coming down on you. Mm-hmm. Someone will yell out white shield and then white protesters will like scramble to the front of the line so that they're standing between the cops and any black people. So that
yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw a young white woman do that. I was like, that's also very, very impressive.
Yeah, you love to see it. You legitimately love to see it.
Okay, I've almost got this set up.
Balls and buckets to put out tear gas too. I haven't seen the balls and buckets. I've seen people use the traffic cones, which is great. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a thing they started doing in Hong Kong, where when someone throws a tear gas grenade, you put a traffic cone over it and then pour a bottle of water inside.
No, I haven't seen that.
That like deactivates it.
I'm learning so many things. I mean, I learned a lot of things from that video that you shared, which I know you were like, don't share this with anyone. And I agree.
I didn't. Oh no, people saw that.
No, I don't. Yeah,
Whoops.
But I learned things from that.
Hmm.
Have you? Actually, can I ask you? Actually, you know what? I don't ask you about potential times you've been arrested.
I've never been arrested. I'll answer the question. I have not been arrested.
Oh, okay.
I've almost been run over by police horses, but I've never been arrested.
Can I hear that story?
There's not much of a story. It was. Do you know who Pegida are?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Pegida rally in Toronto, and so obviously there was a response, and people were showing up on that side, and the police just came with a bunch of horses and tried to run us all down.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks real bad.
I would not want a horse charging at me.
No, it's
to say the least.
Yeah, you don't. You don't really appreciate how like big horses are until one is running at you. It's real scary.
Yeah, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah. But I mean, I say that, but that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me on a protest. Like that's nothing. That's like,
Yeah, someone's asking this, and I'm actually kind of confused by this too. I thought Pegida was like a European thing. I didn't know they existed in Canada.
They do exist in Canada, unfortunately. They have a big presence in Toronto.
Yay!
And they even like their name. I don't remember what languages it is. I don't know what the initialism stands for, but the E, it still stands for Europe in the Canadian version, which is real fucking weird.
Cool. Just like what is it? We have Europa Force or whatever here too.
Identity Europa, we got them, yeah.
Oh, it's German. Oh, I didn't know that. It's German. I didn't know this. We have Proud Boys in Canada. Quite a few, actually. We have a large Proud Boy contingent.
This person tweeted, "Hey folks, generosity is super awesome. Please donate large sums directly to the fund. YouTube takes a huge cut out of super chats for themselves." Absolutely agreed. And I'm going to post more links to the direct fund so you can give directly. Again, I do like to see number go up, but don't do this for my ego. This is, this is.
You are so. Hey, let me get this straight. Once you hit 100,000 subscribers, you became an elitist.
Yes.
You now want to trot around with your plaque, and on top of that, you're basically the stonks. You want the stonks to go up.
I do, yes. I don't know if I've ever mentioned. I'm a capitalist now that I have 100,000 subscribers. I decided capitalism is good.
That was so fast.
Yeah, because it's
trying to find your tweet. Let me retweet it.
Well, now that I'm succeeding, it's like. Now that I'm succeeding, I realize it's a meritocracy.
Yeah, I know. No, yeah. You made it up entirely of your own virtue because you worked hard. You picked up your bootstraps. You had zero help from anyone else.
Exactly. No one's ever donated to my Patreon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Man, that's cool. Like as soon as you're successful, you realize it's all a lie.
Yeah, you realize that the world is made for you. And as long as it's like, fuck, you got mine type of thing. BLM stocks are up 15%. Hell yeah, my investment portfolio is paying off.
Stonk slime. Oh my.
And if you would like
thought slime, when will? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, if you would like a diverse stock portfolio, might I recommend this page that splits your donation among 70 different community bail funds, mutual aid funds, and racial justice organizers.
Let me read the thing.
The
Louisville Community Bail Fund exists not only to bail out the folks, but to provide post-release support to get them from jail, feed and to situate them from safety, and also maintains a focus on preventative measures of those targeted by law enforcement and threatening with incarceration. Beautiful. Oh, someone wants to know when Thought Slime will be making his I am pivoted to the right video.
Someone asked that in my chat as well. Let me tell you, first of all, I've got to go on the Rubin Report.
Yep.
That's part one of my big plan. I'm writing a book right now called I Triggered Everybody.
Nice.
And that's gonna be real good.
And I guess the lower level title is going to say, "Please don't burn this." Again.
Yeah, don't burn it. And I can't stress this enough. I'm being censored.
Yep.
Yeah, because of my politically incorrect positions.
What? Hey, can I ask you a quasi-serious question?
Yeah.
What are some of your real world pragmatic answers to solving some of this police problem? Like non like we need to abolish capitalism, but
right.
Like, what
like an incremental step?
Yeah.
Number one and pardon the expression, number one with a bullet, disarm the police. So many countries in the world have disarmed police forces. It is imperative that if we can't abolish this institution, we should at least defang it, in my view.
Yeah.
Another one is we need to do something about mass incarceration. And that's maybe a vague answer, but like my suggestions would be there should be legalize all drug possession. Would be a big one. And we need to move to a rehabilitative justice model rather than a punitive justice model, and get people out of prison.
Yeah, all very good. I would add, if we're gonna disarm and hopefully as well as defund, because if you disarm the police, you're probably not going to have to pay as much money for them. So if you got rid of all the military weapons, because that's easy, right? Everyone could probably agree with that. The police don't need tanks. I think everyone's on board with that idea. So no more tanks, no more police tanks. But yeah, so if we lower the amount of money we have to pay them, let's put that money towards infrastructure and social programs, because the cause of the majority of crime happens to be poverty. So if we can attack that from the other angle, you will in turn have less crime as a society. And I assume that that's what everyone wants, right? Even the right wingers probably want there to be less crime ultimately, unless they just want to have racial superiority or something. But I don't want to strong man.
Well, I think they want less crime in their particular neighborhood, but I don't think they care overall, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
You could decriminalize possession without legalizing it. I don't think that goes far enough, to be honest. I think that anything, and here's why I think that's not a good enough solution, is because it would still prevent people from seeking medical help with drug problems. And drugs are a medical issue, not a criminal issue. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. You buy, I don't know, cocaine or some shit, and it's laced with fentanyl. There's nothing you can do about it if drugs are decriminalized. What are you going to do? It's still illegal. You still can't, like, go somewhere and get it tested. You still can't, like, there's no, you can't warn people in your community without fear of legal repercussion. You need it to be legal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would add to that, because I know the conservative pushback on that is always, well, would you legalize crystal meth and PCP and Nickelodeon
I would.
And
yes, I
would.
would.
Legalize all of that?
Yes.
Well, obviously you would legalize Nickelodeon GAC. I mean, that makes sense. But my answer to that is you can make a lot of those things available via doctors, or available via prescription, right? So things that I don't think maybe you should be able to buy in a 7-Eleven, like a bag of crystal meth, fine. You don't have to buy it there, but you have to have legal access to it if you need it at any single time. And I say that because the big pilot programs in Vancouver that have been extremely successful have been in relation to legalizing things like heroin. And surprise, surprise, the incidences of theft related to people stealing from drugs goes down. The incidences of HIV, hospitalizations, ODs, all plummet. Well, especially ODs, because there's no fentanyl in government-created heroin.
Well, the majority of ODs don't come because people just do more heroin. It's because oftentimes people that buy black market heroin don't know the dosage information. A lot of it is watered down or cut. When I say watered down, I don't mean with literal water, but like cut with something to make it less potent. And then when they get a more pure product, they end up taking more than they intended to and overdosing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it like I've volunteered in Insight, which is one of the areas in Vancouver that's related to. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say volunteer. I had a friend who was an addict that I lost a couple years ago, so I was helping him out with that process. But the two things that do save a lot of lives in that arena happen to be, access to cleaner drugs, as well as like Naxalone. To be honest, is another really big thing, which has helped out here.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to hear that. And I'll just say that, like, to me, it's not like you can't stop people from doing drugs. Any attempt to do it is futile. You just have to think about harm reduction.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think we've shown that even though people are dying from overdoses and police can shoot you if you have the drugs, people still do them. The deterrents do not work in this case. They're still doing it.
Yeah.
I think Spain or Portugal decriminalized drugs and established a rehabilitation
It was
program.
Portugal, yeah.
Yeah.
I have family in Portugal that I don't really talk to much, but one of my half brothers in Portugal, the first time we spoke in like 10 years, he was like, "What's the cannabis like in Canada?" And I was like, Well, we got British Columbia. Like, it's pretty fucking good, actually. But I don't get it a lot because it's hard to find. He's like, oh, I'll mail you some. And I was like, please, please don't do that. It's illegal here. Because at the time, it was illegal. Now, you still couldn't mail it from another country, Jesus Christ. But he's like, oh, no, don't worry. It'll be safe. And I'm like, don't do that. Please don't. Like, I feel like you're still thinking about doing it. I really want you to not.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, technically, it's not a crime for you to receive something in the mail. They would have to prove that you had ordered it, because otherwise, anyone could frame anyone else just by mailing them like a finger,
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, I get like a bunch of weed in the mail, and like, you think how good a job you think I'm going to be doing explaining to the police? No. I didn't want this.
It's not weed, you see, it's a finger. What was my next question going to be? Oh yeah. How was the have you seen what the protests are like over there in Toronto? Has there been a lot of? I heard the ones in Montreal got really violent.
They weren't violent here. There was one this Saturday, but it was completely peaceful.
Oh, okay.
And I don't say that but it was good that it was peaceful, but there was no violence.
Yeah, no, that's
or
great.
at least there's like the normal amount that comes with any protest. But there were like thousands of people out in the street marching from Christie Pitts down to Queen's Park, and it's at that point, nobody's gonna try shit.
Yeah.
There was
Which
I don't know if you heard. I don't remember her name, sadly, but it was a black Indigenous trans woman was thrown off a balcony by police, and that's what the protest here was about.
I was gonna say, how far has that been taken? Because last I read about it, there's a whole bunch of neighbors who obviously and very clearly saw it happen, but I hadn't heard of there being any charges.
I haven't heard of any charges either, and I think I'm not holding my breath for it because it feels like, because the protest was just thousands of people marching from one place to another, like, I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure on anyone to do anything about it, and I feel like absent of that pressure, and just, I don't feel like governments respond to community anger alone at the police.
Regis Korchinski Paquette.
Thank you is her name. Thank you.
Officers were inside an apartment unit on the 24th floor. They observed a woman on the balcony. A short time later, the woman fell from the balcony to the ground below. 24 fucking floors. She was pronounced dead on the scene. No one's been arrested.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know if you have the footage right now of all the different protests going on.
No, I don't. I could try and set that up. I don't know, like, my internet is pretty whack. I'm hoping that my internet gets better in my new apartment. Well, it will, because I won't be relying on Wi-Fi. I'll actually have Ethernet.
Oh, nice. When do you move?
August 1st.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Are you increasing in size?
Yeah. I'm moving into a 2-bedroom with my fiance, and I've never mentioned it before. But, sorry, I didn't mean for that noise to happen. I did get engaged. It's the first time I've ever brought it up online. It's kind of a little secret between you and I, but it's cat's out of the bag now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's neat.
Yeah, they said it couldn't be done.
They were wrong. Oh, by the way, that woman wasn't trans.
I said that.
Oh, sorry, the ones that got pushed out of the building.
Yeah, I said she was a trans woman.
Oh, all right, never mind. I misheard.
Yeah, I got the feed up now from twitch.tv/woke.
It's pretty woke.
Let's see if I can. You know what? Change this viewing angle a little bit. There we go. Okay, sorry.
Oh, cool. Now we have all the feeds.
Yeah. I can't look at both at the same time, so hopefully, I don't know. I'm just kind of blown away. We raised $5,000.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, I think, the most productive 2 hours of my life.
$5,000 for 2 hours of work. Yeah, I'd say you win something.
Yeah.
Wow. Bad Bunny. I don't know if you know Bad Bunny, the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
She's live, standing literally at the front lines right
Holy
now.
shit.
If you see all those feeds on your screen of, if you can see the Seattle one, that lineup of comps, she's right in the very front.
Oh, wow.
That's wild. Good for her.
Wow, we really should have given her the $5, huh? Oh man, it's so fucking hot. I'm dying.
Oh, where you are?
Yeah.
What? Oh wow, that guy has a really long neck. That's the longest neck I've ever seen in a human, I think.
That's a giraffe.
What is he? That can't be real.
I can't even see him. I don't know. You just said it was a long neck.
Oh yeah, it's a really long neck. Oh my. Yeah, the cop has an enormous neck.
It's so that they
yeah,
can
I totally
get the
forgot what I was gonna say. I'm just
cops have
I'm in
long
awe
necks so
and-
that they can get the donuts at the top of the tree.
Hey.
Yeah, I feel like this is screwing up my bandwidth. I'm gonna switch back.
Yeah. No problem. How hot is it there?
You know, I looked at my phone just now and it's only 23 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
but it's humid as hell. And I kind of broke my fan today. I dropped it and it doesn't stay upright anymore. So that sucks. So I can't make it. I'm propping it up against the couch right now, but I can't make it oscillate. So it's not really moving the air around that much.
I don't know. Are we gonna get one of those classic thought slimes where you're just pouring sweat?
Yeah, real soon.
Nice.
It's started already, but it's getting to the point where it won't be containable.
Oh, just like out of control.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I mean, I've lost a lot of weight since last summer, so I'm hoping that's gonna like make me sweat less. But because that's last year when I was sweating
Was
so much, I
that
was like, what do I do? And they're
is
like,
that-
try losing weight. So I've lost weight. I better not sweat as much.
is that to get into your wedding shape?
Well, it was. No, it was because my doctor told me my LDL cholesterol wasn't bad, but it's like at the point where I had to keep an eye on it because it could get bad, you know? And then I got so
I
scared
understand.
that I'm like, well, I guess I'm only ever going to eat healthy food for the rest of my life.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
That's a good response.
I'm very, what's the word when you think you have every health problem?
Hypochondriac.
Hypochondriac, and I'm very much a hypochondriac. So, like being told that like, oh, you could develop a health problem if you don't do something about it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read everything I can about nutrition. I'm gonna start exercising. I bought a big fucking tub to store my enormous salads. so that I can make one salad at the beginning of the month and then just have salad for the rest of the month. Or not the month, sorry, the
You
week.
eat the same salad all month?
For a week. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
My brain is kind
Even
of
that
fried.
seems pretty extreme.
Yeah, well, it's like what I do is I buy like a couple of things of greens and then I just, put them all in like a giant Tupperware that I take it out at my leisure and eat as much salad as I want.
Oh.
Put
Delightful.
spinach on any food and it becomes healthy. Listen, there are healthier greens than spinach. Spinach is my favorite green because it's maximum between cheapness and tastiness. But it's healthier to have kale or arugula.
I like kale if it's been massaged.
Yeah, see how you gotta massage your kale.
You got to massage the kale. People who don't know about that, it's amateur hour.
You doing like regular green kale or dinosaur kale?
I'm partial to both. I also enjoy my baby kale.
Hmm.
I like little baby kales.
And I'm not even gonna ask how you feel about arugula because if you don't like arugula, I'm gonna hang up right now.
I did not for a while, most of my
What?
life, and then in the past 2 years, I forced myself to like it. It's it's weird. You know the sharp tasting things like cilantro, for example.
Yeah.
Always loved it. Like I came out of the womb covered in cilantro. It's very weird. I had some issues, but arugula, it took a while, but now arugula is amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of the other way. I used to really like cilantro. I don't like it anymore, but arugula is incredible. I would eat it
Yeah,
every week if it didn't cost like $10 for like
Yes.
one salad's worth.
Well, here's another weird question. Do you like the Belgian endive?
The what?
Is this your first time hearing of it?
Belgian what?
The Belgian endive.
Never heard of it.
I was like, am I pronouncing it right? I could be mispronouncing it. It's basically, they look like these long, like white, slightly yellow, thick leaves, like almost like a transparent artichoke is the closest
Okay.
thing I could use to compare it to.
I've never had one of those, I don't think.
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it.
I'm just throwing all the
What hot dog
News.
inventory? When was the last hot dog you ate?
Whew, maybe 2 years ago, I want to say. And that's not because I'm so pure. I don't even eat hot dogs because they're bourgeoisie,
Yeah, hot dogs are really bougie for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing more bougie than a hot dog. No, it's just like, it's one of those things that I kind of grew out of, and then I have them every now and then as like
Yeah.
a random street treat or something. But
Sure,
I
yeah.
haven't had one in a couple. I haven't had one in a couple years.
I just think it says a lot about people when the last time they had a hot dog was.
Oh no, what does 2 years mean about me?
I think it's pretty good. I think it means you got your life together.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good news.
I mean, not to say that if you just ate a hot dog, like you don't, but it's
Yeah.
like there's a certain amount of, I think, like it's a symptom, right? Like if you're eating hot dogs all the time, you might be depressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And probably not too healthy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to make judgments on people's health based on the amount of hot dogs they eat. I don't, I can't speak to that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just feel like, and I'm not talking like a a really good sausage with like a brioche bun, or I don't even know if you could do a brioche bun for a hot dog. I don't even know. But I just feel like, I'm talking about like Oscar Mayer, like backyard barbecue, like a cooler full of ice and a little vacuum sealed pack hot dog, like that type of hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cute dog.
Yeah.
Are you vegan?
I am. Yeah.
How was that part of the going healthy thing?
No, I've been vegan for like 5 years,
Oh, okay.
5 or 6 now. I don't know.
As a full ultra powerful vegan,
Mhm.
what do you miss the most in the world of meats?
Chicken is the only meat I miss.
Bacon.
Don't care.
You haven't found a single bacon substitute?
I don't-
Because if I was gonna say if you have, that's incredible. I could not find one.
I don't miss bacon, to be honest. I haven't gone out searching for a bacon substitute. Although I could link you to what is supposedly a really good one by Simnett Nutrition, where they make out of rice paper.
Oh, okay.
It looks really good, but I haven't tried it. But it's chicken is the only one that I really miss, which is weird because I never really liked chicken when I ate it. But I miss it so much now. Particularly, and this is like depressing, but KFC.
Oh, KFC's delicious.
I have like a lot of memories of eating it with my family. Like when we would go out to like my grandfather has a cabin in an outport community in Newfoundland, and it was by a KFC. And at that time, there were very few KFCs around. So whenever we went out to the cabin, we would have a bucket of KFC, and that's always where my mind goes back to, like the guy in Ratatouille who eats the ratatouille, and he's suddenly a little kid again. That's every time I smell KFC, I'm like, oh, summer's at the cabin.
Have you tried Popeyes before?
No, I didn't get to try
Sure.
it before I went vegan, unfortunately. My fiance, by the way, this is the first time I've ever mentioned it. I am engaged.
Nice.
She does enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a superior to salt.
Hmm.
Debate Michael Tracy. Have you been watching or keeping your nose to the Michael Tracy Twitter feed as of late?
No.
No.
Oh, I saw some. Oh, he made some garbo take the other day that just set me right off.
He's got some takes. He's got some opinions on the world and what should be done with them.
I can't remember what it was, but it like, when you get like punching mad at Twitter. That's how mad I got at Michael Tracy the other day.
Yep. Yeah, let me pull them up here because now I can use his terrible takes for charity. So this is good. I'm going to turn his mind into charity. Okay, so yeah, he today piggybacking off the back of the Black Lives Matter movement, of which he's claiming to be some kind of consummate reporter covering the information on it. He did a mini fundraiser. Well, not fundraiser, but he just posted all his links saying, honestly, people, I need your support. Yes, your financial support, because institutional media is crazier now than ever been. And I'm surpassing 2016, 2017. Here's my Patreon. And then guess what? And then when everyone called him out for it, rightly so, guess what, media trolls? Today was my best day of fundraising ever, and I only put out a request like an hour ago. So now I can do even more important work. So we made him more powerful.
Yeah, can I tell you something I'm nervous about? Kind of an opposite situation. I've got $5,000 that I need to donate to this charity, and I have no idea how I'm going to do that. It's going to have to be over multiple payments. Because there's no way my bank is going to let me just donate $5,000.
Yeah. That was $5,000. Who knows? And like, I don't know how long you're running this for, but you could easily hit like 6 or 7.
I think it's slowed down now, so I think I'm not feeling like I have to keep going just because it's going to, I don't feel like I'm going to be robbing Black Lives Matter if I stop anymore. But it's at $5,000 now. It has been for a while because I think people are going directly to the page, which is good, which is what I want people doing because it means YouTube doesn't get a cut. So
the stonks, everyone. Think of the stonks.
The stonks are not as important as people get this money ending up in the hands of people that need it. But like my bank is definitely going to be like, hey, this is weird. Did you know you tried to give $5,000 away to a charity? It's like most of the money that you have. And we're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that happened. So,
You're going to have to call them up and make a special request. Okay, I can do that.
Someone in my chat is asking if you know about Unnatural Vegan. It's a cool scientific vegan channel.
I do know about Unnatural Vegan. They had a real shitty take about autism that I saw someone
no.
else completely tear apart. But generally,
no.
they seem cool. But they had that one take that was not
Oh,
great.
okay. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I follow a lot of vegan channels, but like a lot of them are fucking unbearable. Because, like, and I'm speaking as a vegan. Like, we gotta learn to shut up sometimes.
Mm.
Like, did you see that lady who was like saying, "Oh, you have to be if you truly support Black Lives Matter, you have to be vegan too."
Yeah,
and it's like,
I was like, ooh, did not see this take ever coming out or existing.
oh, I absolutely saw it coming. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a constant. That I've seen like PETA make analogies about like factory farming to the Holocaust. Like that's a thing
Oh,
they
my.
do all the time.
Oh my.
And it's like, you know, you're like, guys, I'm out here white vegan all alone and you're making me look like this. Like, stop. I'm not like you. We're not the same.
Like it's horrifying. You could call it like an animal genocide for sure. I wouldn't call it the Holocaust.
It's
'cause
nowhere
I think
near.
That's, you know,
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit offensive.
And like people who get like an argument that comes up probably like once a week on my Discord server that I have to like weigh in on is about indigenous hunting rights. And it's like, fucking look, I have my beliefs about veganism too, but you can't like as a colonizer come in and like tell people like not to practice their traditional hunting rights when it's our culture that came here and fucked everything up, that like started factory farming and doing all of this. The indigenous people weren't doing that before we got here. Like you don't get to speak from a place of moral superiority. Like it makes me so mad.
Do you know that? Have you actually like gone into like deep historical records? Have you seen that? I mean, do we have anthropological evidence of that? I'm not entirely sure. They could have been.
Yeah,
I'm just asking
yeah.
questions. That, you know. I'm just
Yeah, there
asking
could
the
have
hard
been
questions.
pre-European contact factories for sure.
Yeah.
Built,
been.
of course, by aliens.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah,
I mean, when anything you know relatively complex happens in any kind of pre-Western civilization, it's aliens.
it's
It was
aliens.
the aliens that did it.
Well, I believe it was it Quentin Reviews who was talking about how all the ancient alien theories, and he said like it points to the idea that aliens just don't like white people. Because like aliens did all this stuff with all these other cultures, but they never visited white people. It's like that makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's why white people are the meritocracy, right? They did it all on their own, and then everyone else got gifts from the aliens, and that's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
If white people can't explain it, the aliens did it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
it
seen that
had
on
to
a
be
t-shirt.
aliens because people wouldn't have figured out to build in a triangle without aliens.
No.
That's
how
an
would you do that?
advanced shape.
How would you lift rocks and put them on top of other rocks without advanced machines? Like,
Yeah, I mean, we know
there's
how
just
you
no
could
other
do
way.
it. We know how to do
Yeah,
it,
I
but
mean,
they
we
they
have the
couldn't have.
artifacts of how people have done it before in other
Yeah.
places of the world, but in this one area, we don't know how they did it.
We don't know how they did it because it makes me feel like I'm not the smartest type of person, and
Yeah,
so
naturally.
that can't be right.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong; those Easter Island faces, they're quite hypnotizing to see pictures of, and I certainly can imagine it would be difficult to craft such things.
Someone told
But
me that they have bodies underneath.
Oh, it's just underneath the ground.
Someone told me that. I don't know if that's true.
It's not true.
Okay, fair.
Well, I mean, if it is, neat. I didn't know that. But then again, I don't look at those and think, well, I don't know how that was done, so aliens.
It had to be. It's Occam's razor would suggest.
It's true.
It's
oh
aliens,
wow,
yeah.
I'm being lit up. Everyone says I've seen pictures. Now I got to look it up.
Oh, it is true?
Apparently, Easter Island bodies underwater. What? Oh, I'm having so many mind explosions right now. But wait, I don't know how many of these are real. Some of these look like they're man-made. Some of these look photoshopped. Oh yeah,
Their
no,
feet
okay,
are
this is totally-
Stonehenge.
All right, hold on. I'll put this on the screen chat. Don't worry.
They
Well, by torsos, it looks like it just goes down for a really long time.
Are
There
they
might also be
anatom-
a stone penis. I can't tell.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Thank you for. Yeah, it's the one thing I wanted to know.
It was actually my first thought. I was like, is there enormous penises under the ground? And I want to live in a world where that's true.
Yeah, it's like a reverse ostrich situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell this, Chad, but me and Matt didn't actually prepare. I know it's impossible to realize based on the conversation we're having that this isn't a scripted.
You can see
back
it.
and
No,
forth.
he's lying. In my notes right here, I've written down that we were going to talk about
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck
the
up!
Easter Island heads.
Don't give away the game.
Did we talk about KFC? We talked about that already. Indigenous
What are you
hunting
doing right
rights.
now?
I'm just. I didn't. I'm.
Don't-
I just want to make sure we're on schedule.
The donations are actually going down. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, people
You're
are taking
getting
their
negative
money back.
donations now. Yeah, people are asking for refunds.
Too late. I'm gonna donate to a bunch of Black Lives Matters charities, and nobody can stop me.
Yeah, that's pretty wonderful, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Talk about the 2012 world-ending conspiracy. I don't know a lot about it except that it was in the Mayan calendar, and because the Mayan calendar, because it ended on 2012, they assumed that's when they thought the world would end. Well, that's what we Westerners did, but I don't know if that was necessarily the purpose.
I also heard that that's not even true. Like, they did have the calendar thousands of years past 2012.
Oh, really?
I heard that,
Well, I'm
but
sure.
once again, you hear everything. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could know, but I refuse to type it out now.
Well, I know that the
Just
world
don't know.
didn't end in 2012.
It did. No, that's true. Or during Y2K.
The day that the world was supposed to end was the day that Macho Man Randy Savage died. And I remember at the time, people were making, in retrospect, really not cool jokes about the fact that he had wrestled Quetzalcoatl to a standstill. When I don't even think Quetzalcoatl was the god who was supposed to end the world. Like, isn't that just the sun?
I'm a little out of my depth now. I don't know a lot about wrestling beyond Macho Man Randy Savage, but now I
Right.
feel the second
That's
part
the
was
part
a
you're out of
reference
your
to
depth on.
wrestling.
Like, you're very comfortable
Yeah.
on Mayan mythology.
It was Aztec, okay. But part of me was like, this sounds not like a wrestling name. This sounds like it's a part of maybe some civilization I'm not totally familiar with.
Right.
But it could also be a wrestling name. So I don't know, should I react to, or should I fully admit my ignorance on the subject?
It's listen, I'm basing most of my knowledge on Final Fantasy summons, so don't feel too bad.
I do not feel bad at all then. The Aztec wrestler. Oh, okay. Well, now I know.
Lance, someone's asking in my chat if I've seen Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah. Hey, here's a little bit of Thoughts Line Surf's lore. The first time I offered to do a collab, or the second time I offered to do a collab with you, was because I said I wanted to do some kind of a horror review related to Jacob's Ladder, and it never materialized. And
Yeah,
then we never spoke again.
I was deep in a Wishmaster groove at that time.
True.
I was in the throes of the Witchmaster, and I couldn't get out. And then I did get out, but I went back in for the Rage. And I might go back in again for Faust Love of the Damned.
I haven't seen that.
No one would see it. It's it's a film. It's star. The only reason anyone would watch it, I will say, is because it has Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator, uh, the guy who played the original Wishmaster, and it was directed by Brian Usna. And from that description, you think, "Oh, that sounds pretty cool." No, it's a dog shit movie. It's fucking awful.
I never said that.
It's like a dark superhero, like a rip off of Spawn. Essentially, he's like a devil, but he makes like quips, and it's it's dog shit. At one point, he melts a lady because like she's like, I want to be beautiful, so he turns her into literally just tits and ass. But that has the effect
Every
of
man's dream.
yeah, that's all a man wants, right? Is a woman who is just tits and ass to the point that she turns into a gloopy puddle on the floor.
That's the most hetero thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I'm so hetero. All I want is a vagina and a pair of breasts.
Yeah.
Then she won't talk back to me. You
it
know
makes
what I mean?
perfect sense, and I JO'd 7 times to that scene, but it's just a ridiculous thing to put in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange.
Do I mean Jeffrey comes from Star Trek? No, I meant Jeffrey comes from. I meant what I said.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Matt, I love you deeply, but I'm streaming for 6 hours
Yeah,
and
man.
I've yet to eat.
Yeah,
And
man,
it's
totally.
starting to weigh upon my person.
All right, get some rest,
So-
dude. Get some food.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to consume a meal of carbon to transfer into energy.
Have a hot
Um,
dog on me.
Let me say 2 things. One is going to
Uh-huh.
be self-aggrandizing, and one is going to be a compliment. The first one
Okay.
is the compliment, and congratulations, sincerely, for raising over $5,000. That's absolutely incredible. You should be very, very proud. And if you're not, I'm very, very proud of you. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of people have platforms, and a lot of them use it for evil. Just outright evil, like just unquestionable evil, just just the most satanic kind. Actually, no, Satan's pretty based. Just terrible evil, but you use it for good, and that's a wonderful thing.
I try.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of this.
It was a pleasure being here. I learned more about hot dogs than I ever thought I would.
And you also had a self-aggrandizing comment?
Oh yeah, by the way, Thoughts Live chat. If this is your first experience with the strange that is me, I'm Lance. You can check me out at Lance. You can
Check him out at Lance.com.
No, don't go to Lance.com.
Don't go
it's
to
a food company. It's a
Too
processed food company. They're really evil. Don't
Oh
go
no,
there.
I shouldn't have put that link in the chat about Lance.com.
Sorry, youtube.com/thesurfstv or anywhere else. It's just the Surfs TV. So twitch.tv/thesurfstv, twitter.tv/thesurfstv, and thoughtslime.com/thesurfstv. Coming soon. Don't tell anyone.
All right, well, have a good night. I will spam your links in chat. And
Thanks. And congratulations again, and keep being awesome.
I'll do my best. You too. All right, now it's just you and I again, chat. Now, if any of you are good at computer and can help me figure out how to read the super chats I missed, that would be appreciated. I'm not good at computer. Let's get the music back on too. It's going to be echoey because I can't use my headphones. I'm going to have to remember to do it on a different tab than the YouTube stream control panel so I can actually read fucking chat. Jesus Christ. I'm boomering out of control tonight. Michael Haneke? I don't know who Michael Haneke is. Click on the little bubble with the money on it. Yeah, but that gets me like one at a time, right? I want to see like the list. So that I can read out the ones that I missed. Okay, let's do that. How's the sound on the music? I don't think you can do a list. I refuse to accept defeat. Failure is not an option. I bet. Ha ha ha. If I go into the super chat page, yes, aha! I have found them all. None of you believed in me. Sid asks, soy curls are my favorite chicken substitute. I've never tried them. Evan O'Quinn, thank you for the $5. Sakura Storm, I wish I could give more, but this is what I can do right now. I just wanted to let you know that you helped me be more open about being non-binary. That's great. And every little bit counts, so don't... Anything you can give is great. Hey folks, generosity is super awesome. Please donate. Okay, I read that one. But you know what? It bears repeating. Generosity is super awesome. Please donate large sums directly to the fund. YouTube takes a huge cut of super chats for themselves. So let's, now that we read that again, let's go ahead and spam in the chat. Why is it? There we go. Thank you for introducing me to actual anarchism and to opening me up to all kinds of great leftist communities and creators. Black Lives Matter. Everyone keep the momentum going. Don't back down. That's by Bright Knight Creations. Thank you, Bright Knight Creations. Jesse Hitch. Can I donate $500 twice? You didn't. Holy shit. Jesse Hitch didn't donate $1,000, did they? If so, even if not, $500 is still like an incredible amount of money. And it shows what an incredible human being you are. Super proud of you, Matt. You keep saying you aren't doing much, but you have a platform and you're using it right. BLM1312. Look, I'm not taking credit because I think you all deserve the credit. What you've done is amazing. Listen to the coup. I love the coup. I mentioned the coup. I thought I might have called them the guillotine. My mistake. I'm just realizing. I think I did that. But I mentioned Street Sweeper Social Club, which is the side project of Boots Riley, who's from the coup. Hello, my bitterest slime rival. As a Black Envy, it's really blowing me away to see all this support in such a short amount of time. I'm happy for everyone here. Me too, Slime Envy. I don't know if you had that name before me. Before I was around, I mean. Prismbreak.org. I don't know what that is. Maybe exercise caution before checking out that URL. Hey, Thought Slime, you brought me into anarchism proper and helped me talk about leftism to people who might not have listened to me. BLM and ACAB. Absolutely, Alex Frankenstein. Or Alex Frankenstein. I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation. Slime friend, you are a balm in my bruised heart. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Alexandra Mohagan. Wish I could give more, Valamist. 5 Great British Pounds. That's nothing to sneeze at. ACAB, BLM, FTP, you know the thing, so now I give it the money. Fully automated, luxury, LGBT+, plus, and the username is cut off there. I'm going to say space communism. I'm guessing that's how that ends. GuardianProject.info for great protest apps. Exercise caution downloading apps onto your phone that are protest apps. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Manian, thank you for the 20 pounds. ssd.f.org for electronic security tips or tools. Again, same warning. The dams here in California are in critical condition. Levee's about to break in every sense of the word. Love what you're doing. Love your contact. Shalom. Thank you, Arlen Oglensky. Jossum from Sushi the Sloth. I guess you saw the stream I did with Kamazats where we watched Street Sharks. Kia Ora from All New Zealand. Love your vids. It's so heartening to see the support here too. You are all awesome. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Solidarity forever. Kia Kaha. Be strong. Get stuck in. Keep going. Thank you so much, Matt McGuire. I love you. You are beautiful. You sassy boy. Your humor got me to swing left. You sexy vacuum coolie. Thank you, Zachary Clark. That's the highest compliment anyone's ever paid to me. QBNTD says, your videos help me figure out I'm non-binary. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching the videos. BMan+2 says, join the IWW. Excellent advice. Parchment Scroll says, no, Matt, you brought us together. Accept praise. I refuse. I will not. William G. My GF and I love your videos. We look forward to them every Friday. That's wonderful. Set Parenti says, thank you for all that you do, Slimo, BLM. It's not Parenti like Michael Parenti. It's not spelled the same way. Frankus de Zorzi says, from outside the U.S., it's heartwarming seeing the people from the center of the empire rise up. Hell yeah. And they did like a fist up and a red flag. Wyoming is real and some of us are cool. Are all the leftists in the cowboy state here yet? Probably. I heard someone else said they were one of dozens of the Wyoming leftists. Hashtag BLM. Thank you, Adam Appel. Hoping the protests are still going on in a month because we know nothing's changing in a month. So there still will be brave souls needing to be bailed out. Absolutely. And I hope that we keep this energy going because this isn't going to fix quickly. And we need, like, it's easy to be involved now, but we need to be involved. We need to keep it going. Someone in chat said $1 equals one death of capitalism, so I'm here to do my part, BLM 1312. We did it! We killed capitalism, everybody, 10 times by Caboodle. Guy in a gorilla suit says, love the eyeball zone, thanks for hipping me to Lexicog. And it's Lexicog, not Lexicoke, like I said in the video, my mistake. And then I went ahead and spelled her name wrong in the friggin' PDF, so I spent way too long thinking of a profound chat to write, and I give up. Here, take my money. Thank you, Thought Slime, for being precious. Thank you, Seer of the Night. Love you, Slime Friend. I love you too, Brandon Butterfield. Thank you to all who are able to protest. I'm especially touched by protesters outside the USA. That's very true, Sal Dogbed. Dogfish says, just wanted to say thank you for turning me towards anarchism. I used to be a milquetoast lib after I was a big fan of Donny Boy, and now I'm a big ol' ANCOM. That's great to hear, Dogfish. Your videos helped me realize I wasn't alone in the anarchist space. Keep up the good work, ACAB. Thank you, Rob Gill. April Shadows, an injury to one is an injury to all. We can't breathe. April Shadows. Okay. I'm not like is that an okay slogan? I'm not sure. Issa M says Teeth Gang. Teeth Gang, hell yeah. I think that was from the stream where I very angrily told everyone to floss. So I'm very pro flossing. I attended a peaceful demonstration last night. Spent my day being condemned by my entire family for not supporting the boys in blue. So, you know, how's your day? My day is fucking fantastic. I'm sorry you had a tough day, Dylan Troyer, but you are on the right side of history. Reminder that the use of tear gas is illegal in warfare. It's also illegal against civilians. Some might say far more illegal. Thanks for helping me feel more comfortable being NB, BLM. Thank you for watching, Jessica, and thank you for your $10 donation. Thanks for the work that you do. It took isolation during a pandemic, but I finally accepted myself as a trans, and the video you made about being non-binary helped me get there. Also, more importantly, Black Lives Matter. I think I've already read that one, so we are officially caught up. And now, if any more have come in, I need to read those. So, I want to know your take on Jacob's Ladder. What your take on Jacob's Ladder would have been. Let me scroll up here because it. Also, I love you and you're wonderful. We're probably still going to make the video, but I'd have to rewatch the movie because I haven't watched it in like 20 years. But it would have to get into a discussion about, the way the Vietnam War, spoilers, is represented in film and how PTSD is represented in film. Who is the biggest influencer in your leftist ideas? I mean, in terms of, like, people who explicitly wrote out anarchist ideas, it would be Peter Kropotkin. But, like, in terms of... I know this is kind of a cliche answer, but, like, Mr. Rogers? Like, just the, like, pure human kindness and pure human connection, I think, is the most important thing. So that's where I try and, that's how I try to live. But, that's how it is. Prison Break came out when Snowden leaked. Oh, this is that kind of prison. I see. You inspire me to be out as an NB and a better leftist. I mean, yeah, and keep in mind those things aren't connected. You don't have to be out to be a good NB or to be a good leftist. But I'm glad that you can be yourself. And you are both of those things. I did have the name before I knew of you, but not before you had your Thought Slime username. When I saw your Shira vid, it really made me go like, oh, cool coincidence. I feel like anybody who watches that video now is like not getting the full impact of it, because I had never talked about being non-binary before that video. So I feel like a big part of it at the time was like, it's like a twist in the video. And now it's just like, it's weird that I'm not talking about it for the first half, Teeth Gang, I think, is from H-Bomb stream, the trans one. Oh, right. Because he brushed his teeth that one time. Hey, can y'all hold on a second? I need to get a cold drink because I'm really warm. I'll be right back. Don't start trouble. Thank you for not starting trouble. Shira vid had me openly sobbing. LMAO. It's so weird to say it without a F. Oh, you think you're all gonna start trouble? You don't know how quick I can get a drink, do you? Wish I had one. Wish you had one. What? Love from the Terp Gang? Yeah, I mean, it's Terpination, isn't it? I need to watch that video more so I can learn more of the things he says. Because there's something he goes like lemon breezy, like... I don't know, I can't remember. It was so good. John Chuck, thank you for the $10. We're officially at 5K now. We have raised... Sorry, I misspoke. You have raised $5,000. Let that sink in. $5,000. Think about the lives that you have improved. Think about all of the people who are gonna get equipment and services and bail because of the work you have done here today. That is incredible. And I hope each and every one of you who has donated and all of the people who are here supporting and everyone feels that in their heart and they know how incredible what they've done here is, because that is... and I'm so humbled to be here to witness it. Do you think it would take a civil war / violent conflict to create an anarchist society? I mean, do I think it's necessary? No. But yeah, probably. Like it could happen without it, but I don't think it's going to. That doesn't mean I'm like rushing towards violence. I think violence is an indefensible position, except when it's used in service of diminishing further violence. So I don't think we should, be starting shit, but we should be protecting people for sure. You fucking hate Windows? Hell yeah. Hashtag kill all Windows, am I right? Can toast really consent? See, this, I don't know what that means, and I don't feel like I want to. Fastest drink in the West, that's me, baby. Although, I should say, I might get canceled for this. I didn't realize when I bought this, and if I realized it, I wouldn't have bought it, but it's fucking Nestle. It's like the evilest company in the world, and I bought from them. Because I just got so excited I saw lemon lime soda water, and I was like, ooh, yes, that's what I want. And I didn't even look at the company that made it, because you don't even think about it. And I brought it home. I only noticed today, actually, that it was Nestle. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Much love. My partner and I thoroughly enjoy your movie takes, and you are a lovely human being, and we're glad you exist. Thank you, Shitgoose151. Oh man, that's what I love about this job, is you read something that completely warms your heart, and then you look up and it was posted by Shitgoose151. But it did make me realize I can just do a video on Nestle, so that could be good, right? Also, I will never buy it again, not just because, primarily because Nestle is the evilest company on earth, but also it's not very good. So if you're thinking about buying Nestle lemon lime water, if you're tempted by the delicious lemon lime flavor, don't be. It's not very good. I've had way better lemon lime soda waters. Happy Pride and ACAB. I've continued my horror movie kick since seeing Possum 2018. Also watched Sorry to Bother You. Should not have put that off. That's also got a bit of a horror vibe to it too, Sorry to Bother You. That's an incredible movie. I love that movie. I have not seen Possum, though you're not the first person to recommend it to me, so... you know what? I'm going to write it down. I have my booklet here where I write down things. Watch... Possum. A movie I really want to cover on Scaredy Cats is called Blood Quantum. It's a Canadian Indigenous-made horror movie. It's a zombie movie. And one of the reasons I'm kind of putting it off is because I would really like to get someone more knowledgeable than me to explain what the term Blood Quantum means, because I feel like I would fuck it up. I know what it means, but I couldn't speak to it eloquently or intelligently. Watch Knife Plus Heart. Is that a threat? Kind of a weird question, but I've been working to move to a better diet. Do you have any recommendations for vegan food and less sugar-infused alternatives? Thanks if you can help. It might be a bit of an intense read for some people. And it has not the wokest ideas in terms of fat phobia and things like that. But the book that really helped me with a lot of it is called How Not to Diet by Dr. something Greger. There's a lot of stuff in that about how you can... there's a lot of not very practical stuff, but there's a lot of stuff in there that will help you get the basics of nutrition that makes it a bit easier. And I will say, in terms of less sugar-infused alternatives, if you stop eating sugary stuff, and if you can just willpower it out for a little while, eventually you stop wanting it as much, and other foods taste sweeter. You can also get your gut bacteria to crave different, less sugary foods, and that is a good place to start if you're worried about sugary foods. And I would say like add more fruit to your diet, because fruit is very sweet and sugary, but it's not going to set your insulin spikes off, so it's a bit better for you. Hey bud, you on Mastodon? No, Fop and Plop. Sorry, I'm just reeling from that name. I am not on Mastodon, and I never will be until Mastodon becomes like easy to use. Because while I appreciate what Mastodon is doing, and while I think we need decentralized alternatives to things like Twitter, until it reaches a point where like there are no barriers to entry, it's never going to take off as an alternative. So I don't really see the usefulness in it at the moment. People say like, oh, if nobody moves, then nobody will move, right? But it's like, imagine trying to explain Mastodon to your dad, you know? My small town in rural America is hosting BLM and Pride protests all weekend. You are not alone. Thanks for everything, Slime. Black Lives Matter. Evan O'Quinn. You're still doing Pride protest? Well, protests, I guess. Yeah. But I thought I read parades at first, so I was like, I don't know about that. That doesn't sound like a great idea. Buddy, I am the first to recommend it to you. I was the chick that mentioned it in the Twitch dono, and how it was written directed by Garth Marenghi. My mistake. I will still watch it. But yeah. Well, it just shows that your recommendation stuck with me, huh? Amen to that. Thought Slime, it's Twitter, but the UI is even worse. And I don't like Twitter's UI. Nobody likes Twitter's UI. It's literally as easy to use as Twitter. You make an account and follow people and post shit. That is not true. I don't know what fucking Mastodon page you're going to, but Mastodon is a fucking mess. Just trying to find the people I subscribe to, it's garbo. How do I feel about Means TV? Well, I'm on Means TV, so I kind of like it. Big fan. Also, I love the video game that they published, Tonight We Riot, which will at some point be on the Mega Slime Entertainment Zone. It was going to be the first game I played, but, that doesn't seem like a great idea anymore. Thanks for the eyeball food. I've really appreciated it lately. Oh, your content's great too. Thank you, fake name. Though I maintain I do not know what any and all references to eyeballs are. My favorite Pride story was I went to Pride one year, and at this point in my life, I had a hot date that day, and I woke up and it was like the hottest day I have ever experienced. So I was like, fuck this, I'm shaving my head. It's too hot to have hair. So I went into the bathroom and I shaved my head bald, and I couldn't get the back as good. So I went to a barber and I was like, hey man, can I give you $5 and you just like clean up the back? Because I've done that, because barbers do that sometimes. They'll go like, yeah, we'll like tidy it up for like $5, you know? And I was unemployed at the time, so $5 was a lot of money to me. It was about all I had on me. And he's like, yeah, sure, sit down. And he just like waves the trimmer around on my head for like 10 minutes and then says, okay, that'll be $20. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, well, you can't let me do the work and then complain and say you're not going to pay me. And I'm like, what work? I already shaved my head before I came in here. So, I ended up giving him the money, and I'm still mad about it to this day. And I went to Pride, and it was the hottest. It was so fucking hot that day, and I had just shaved my head, so I was like woozy from so much sun. I was like gonna pass out. I remember I had to get like an iced coffee from Starbucks, and I don't mean that like I wanted it. I mean like if I didn't have an icy drink, I was gonna pass out. Like my body temperature was through the roof. Yeah. But while I was there, anyway, the whole point of this story was that while I was there was a guy in a full GIMP suit. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I know that's probably not a good term to use for it, but he was in a full, like, you know, bondage suit with like the little zipper across the mouth, and he was there with like a leather daddy who had bought him an ice cream, and they were sitting on a stoop and like eating ice cream together, and he was like holding on to the leash, and the guy was there like he didn't even have eye holes in his suit, and he was just sitting there eating an ice cream. And I remember thinking, like, in a way, that's like the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Like, there's something just so wholesome about that, you know? To think that, like, yeah, like, it's, you know, he was really warm, so we bought him an ice cream, and they just sat down and had an ice cream together. Like, something about that is it was just really nice. Did my head get burnt? Absolutely it did. Yeah, that was a nightmare. And that's always my pride story. Gonna get ice cream on the zipper though? I think he was being careful. Zentai suit? No, it wasn't like, because like a Zentai suit is like a morph suit, right? Like, it wasn't spandex. It was like not leather either. It was like plasticky leather, like latex, but with a zipper. You know the type of suit I'm talking about. I've only ever heard them called GIMP suits, but I don't know what a better term for them would be. GIMP is like not a great term to use. I assume, but yeah. The game isn't subtle about the politics. Yeah, it is most definitely not. It's wonderfully overt about its revolutionary leftist politics. Pleather? It wasn't like it was definitely stronger than pleather. I don't think it was vinyl either. PVC maybe. Oh, hey, Fuller Spectrum is in the chat. Or someone added Fuller Spectrum, but yeah, you're going to be in my video tomorrow. I mentioned it earlier, but my video tomorrow is all recommendations of Black creators, so you're going to be in there. Imagine wearing that on a hot day. Man, it was like, I'm glad he had the ice cream. I would have felt really bad for him if he didn't have that ice cream. Like, he must have been peeling that off later that day. Like, oh, just imagine how it would stick to you. Like, ooh. Black denim. Now that would be cool. A denim suit, full body denim. Bondage suit? I guess, yeah, just bondage suit is probably what you call them. Thank you for recommending the Vivitch. Most of it was this is what people believed at the time, but it all paid off in the end because fuck yeah, witches. If you like witches, you should see it. Yeah, it's weird that the title doesn't reference witches at all. It references the completely other thing, the Vivitch. Who needs subtlety? And wow, I'm kind of nervous now. Don't be nervous. It probably just means you're gonna get a bunch of subscribers. That's usually what happens. I find that when I'm feeling in the mood to like pat myself on the back, I like to go to people's pages before and after. I eyeball them to see how many subscribers they get from it. That's something that I like. Look at me, helping people out. Ooh. Hi, Thought Slime. It's me. It's your boy. Whatever my YouTube name is. I don't know. What? What? I don't know what that means. We need to find one person in this chat who fucks to explain this stuff. to explain what stuff? Bondage suits? Thoughts on the shitty shit the Australian government has done to its indigenous people? It's not a subject I'm educated on. Somebody in the chat earlier was saying that there was a murder that, much like the murder of George Floyd, like there was no prosecuting of the cops that did it. Beyond that, I don't know. Why am I the only good YouTuber? I'm not even close to true. There's so many good YouTubers. There are entire channels where they just use a hydraulic press to crush grapefruits. You telling me you don't want to watch that? Then I know you don't smoke weed. Yo, what playlist is this? This is just Pretzel. This is their, What playlist is this, actually? I think it's just like... Yeah, it's... It's their synthwave playlist. What's your favorite color? I bet it's purple. Wrong, it's green! Ha! How to get the music you play? It's Pretzel. It's Pretzel app.pretzel.rocks. It's a lot of streamers use it just to have like music in the background. Or a hamster eats little prepared meal. Space Junk, why is it hiding all your messages? I don't understand. You didn't say anything wrong. Since you've done some pretty good coverage of being NB and the implications of it, do you have any interest in discussing Two Spirits? If you did already, I didn't see it. I mean, I would have interest in discussing that with an indigenous person who could speak to it more in a more educated way. I don't really trust myself to like do enough research to talk about that without it being kind of like speaking over a more relevant perspective. But it's obviously I would be down for a conversation with someone who knew a bit more about it. I've seen that a lot of people have kind of appropriated Two Spirits as a thing outside of the cultural context of indigenous religion, and I think that's not a cool thing to do. But I would love to learn more. Take on an Interview with the Vampire. It's weird, right? Interview with the Vampire is a movie I loved when I was a kid that I probably shouldn't have been allowed to watch when I was a kid. I also read the book when I was like 12, and that's probably not appropriate. But I liked it back then. I don't know. It was good. I haven't seen it really as an adult, so I couldn't speak much to it. I imagine as an adult, a lot more of the homoeroticism would be apparent to me, because that kind of flew over my head as a kid. When I got a bit older and people were saying like, oh, it's the book with all the gay vampires. I'm like, what are you talking about? What was the first superpower you wanted as a kid? I wanted to be a Venom. That's a collection of superpowers, but it's my answer. I'm sticking to it. I wanted to be a Venom. Part of me still wants to be a Venom. Would you ever play a co-op game with H-Bomber Guy for charity? Seeing my two fave YouTuber guys in a stream would be awesome. I mean, I would, but I don't... he's too busy, is the thing. Like, how am I going to get him? And for the record, also, if he's going to be doing something like that, he could absolutely raise a lot more money, probably without me than with me. So that would be a consideration I'd have to make. Like, if I were going to show up, I would be taking a space away from maybe someone else who could bring in more money. So I don't know how I'd feel about that. Did I read the whole Anne Rice Vampire series? I did not. I only read Interview with the Vampire. I spent so much time trying to learn the Force. I think everybody... If you say you didn't, you're lying to yourself. Everybody tried to learn the Force, and everybody, when they go in through an automatic door, pretends that they're opening it with their mind. Everyone does. If you don't, then you're lying to me and yourself and God. Best superpower is time control. Don't at me. Yeah, except what happened to that one guy on Dragon Ball that could stop time by holding his breath, and then Vegeta totally kicked his ass anyway. Think about that. Everyone at... No, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Don't harass people like that. Like, I know, like, you think it's like, oh, it'd be cool if they work together. You're just making me look like a jerk, like I told people to go bug him about it. Like, don't do that. Waterbending in the shower, gang, rise up. I feel like I would be a earthbender. Goldo is his name. Yeah, I was trying to remember, because I remember the Ginyu Force, that's the team he was on. I remember I got so mad when they dubbed that and called them the Spice Boys. Because I was like, man, that's a joke that is already dated. Like, why are you doing this? It's, but in retrospect, the Spice Boys, I kind of prefer that to the Ginyu Force. Good Anarchy intro text, The ABCs of Anarchism by Alexander Berkman, is the best anarchism intro text, in my opinion. And then I would move on to Peter Gelderloos's Anarchy Works, because that's a bit more modern, and it discusses a wider array of movements and what we can learn from non-colonial anarchist projects, or non-colonial projects that are at least compatible with anarchist philosophy. So I am a two-spirit, and I could definitely try to get you in touch with some resources if you want to do something like that. Also, heart is the best superpower. Okay, well, I love the first part of what you said. We'll have to talk more about the second part, because that's going to take some convincing. But yeah, absolutely. Thoughtslimeeditor@gmail.com. That's a discussion I would love to have. Because there's a lot of misunderstanding out there about it, and I would love to clear that up for my audience. So, yeah, any details you want, it's thoughtslimeeditor@gmail.com. Did you guys get the Ocean dub in Canada or something? They called them the Ginyu Force when I was a kid. But then they called someone the Spice Boys. I remember that. Who do I main in Mario Kart? Yoshi, obviously. I'm no fool. Yoshi has the greatest acceleration, and if you're bad at video games, as I am, you need good acceleration because you're going to be hitting so many walls. Has anyone seen that miniseries, The 9 Lives of Nestor Makhno? It's a solid 6 out of 10 at least. I haven't seen it. What's my opinion on Minecraft 1.15.2? I don't remember which update that is. Is that the new one with all the piglins and hoglins and stuff? I haven't really kept up with it. I like some of the cool the new nether biomes. I think that they're neat. But like the piglins, it's like, stop adding mobs to Minecraft that don't do anything. Don't do that. Could you give those 2 books again, please, that literally went in one ear and out the other? The ABCs of Anarchism by Alexander Berkman, and Anarchy Works by Peter Gelderloos. I've done some presentations on it, so I've got my spiel down to a tight 20 minutes. And of course, by that I mean, heart is the best superpower. Are we talking Captain Planet Heart over here? Because that wasn't anybody's favorite Planeteer, let's be honest. Everybody wanted to be Wheeler, the guy with the fire ring. Though, in hindsight, obviously, Kwame was the best Planeteer, because he was voiced by LeVar Burton. I have not seen Fantasy Island 2019. The trailers make it look so fucking bad. But I try to avoid movies that I absolutely hate on Scaredy Cats, because people get real upset when I'm too negative with the movie. Like, people really prefer when I'm more positive. Piglins are actually a very big functional change. How? Like, you can trade them gold stuff and they can throw random items to you. I'm sorry if this is a painful topic, but what happened to your kitties? I sent them to live with my mother because my fiance is allergic. So she couldn't live with the cats. So I still get plenty of pictures and videos of them from my mom. So they're still in the family and I still get to see them sometimes. As far as horror movie goes, do you prefer psychological creature feature or gore fests or bits of them all? I mean, I like all three. I wouldn't say that I prefer one or the other. I would say of the three of them, like a psychological one is more likely to make it on a list of my favorites. But I enjoy like all of those. And sometimes I'm in the mood for just like, you know, a creature feature or like a slasher movie. Like slasher movies to me are like a glass of cold water. I love your Wishmaster vids, and those deal with negative takes. I think even when they dealt with negative takes, though, it was with a certain sense of glee. There's really only one Wishmaster movie I truly didn't like, and that was Wishmaster 3. There was a lot of stuff I didn't like about Wishmaster 2, but Wishmaster 3 was a fucking slog. But yeah, point taken. Do I have any thoughts on the Brian Fuller Hannibal series? I fucking loved Hannibal. I loved it. It was so good. Because it's just a fucking weird psychedelic nightmare. That's all I want. And I can't believe they put it on TV. Someone let them put Hannibal on TV on purpose. I love your videos, and what's your opinion on capitalism? I believe it doesn't work. You know, I don't know if this really came across, but I'm not a fan. I'm getting a capture card Saturday and wanted to know if you had any tips/topics I should talk about with a capture. Well, like, I don't really know what you mean. I feel like you just play a video game, like what you're talking. Like, to me, when you play a video game, it's part of the skill, and maybe try it before you start recording, is sit down, play a video game, and talk, and see if you can just go stream of consciousness. It's a harder skill than you might think. And when I get tired, I start to talk less, and that can be a problem sometimes when I'm streaming video games. So it's a thing you kind of have to practice. How do I feel about Hellraiser? I love Hellraiser 1 and 2. Is how I feel about Hellraiser. I ironically love Hellraiser 3 because it has the DJ Cenobite, and that's fun. But the rest of them, are obviously not great. I'm very excited about the Hellraiser TV show on HBO, though. That's gonna rule. If there's one property I would love, I like the idea. And you know what I would want? If they let me be in charge of the Hellraiser TV show, I would want it to be an anthology series about people at different times and from different cultures finding the lament configuration and summoning the Cenobites. And like, rather than, because I know what they're gonna do, they're gonna make it like one story over multiple episodes. Like, who cares? We know all of this. There's no mystery. We know what a fucking lament configuration does. We know about the Cenobites. Don't do that. Just throw in different situations. Like, what if a guy from feudal Japan finds the lament configuration? What if someone in the future does, but not like in the Hellraiser 4? What if a caveman found it? You know? And this is also something that I've wanted to see, and I think is more likely now that Enter the Spider-Verse was such a big hit. People ask me sometimes what I would want like a Superman movie to look like, and it would be an anthology film where you'd have 3 different people tell 3 different types of Superman stories, and it should be animated, and you should get like an animation team to do it, like a different one for each, in my opinion. I wrote and recorded my first video, and after an entire evening of editing, I was like, I can make this better and longer. It was genuinely just passable. You're wrong. It's probably really good, and you should just upload it, because if you give in to that impulse to continuously make it longer and better, you'll be working on one video for the rest of your life. I promise you that when you upload it, all of the things that you were nitpicking about it, no one's even going to notice. Just upload it. Or they'll make it like the Friday the 13th show and only have the titular relationship to the story. Or only have a titular relationship to the story. Yeah, that was... I can't believe they got away with that. Like, even Freddy's Nightmares at least had Robert Englund as Freddy as a framing device. But for those of you that don't know, the Friday the 13th television series was about a haunted antique dealership and two cousins that had to seek out haunted antiques that were sold, like Needful Things style, or that episode of Rick and Morty with the devil, and retrieve them before they could do supernatural stuff to people. And it was called Friday the 13th, the series, because the producer that worked on Friday the 13th also worked on it. So he's like, oh, more people will watch the show if we tie it to a name they've heard of, but it has nothing to do with that. It's a huge disappointment. What are your fave Ghibli films? I haven't seen all of them, but I love, and forgive me, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, Castle of Castellagrio? I've always said Castle of Castellagrio, but I don't actually know how it's said. And I also haven't seen it in like 20 years. Princess Mononoke. And beyond that, I don't really know. It's of the ones I've seen, those two are my favorite. Suspiria 2019 was amazing. Was that 2019? I thought it was 2018. But yeah, that was a great movie. I mean, I love both Suspirias, but when I was walking out, my fiance was like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the first one." I was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna be like that." Cagliostro. It's Cagliostro. I see. Have some tasty pie. I get it. Like the math pie. Or nerd pie, as it's called in some circles. Slime, you watched the DVD Batman Gotham Knights. It's a Japanese animated Batman anthology, kind of like your Superman idea. Was that the one that came out between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight? Because I think it's kind of like my idea, but it's all set in... That was all set in the Christopher Nolan Batman world. And in my idea, it's more like the episode of the Batman animated series where it was like... one of them was Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Another one was like a 50s Comics Code era Batman. And I forget... The third one... I forget what it was. But they made fun of like Joel Schumacher in a pretty homophobic way, as I recall. Hand to God, the first time a friend explained the show Warehouse 13 to me, I told her, "You're thinking of Friday the 13th. Well, they both have 13 in the name. Who is your favorite Batman? Not a movie, just actor. Kevin Conroy. Obviously. I'm no fool. It's obviously Kevin Conroy. He is Batman. Like, if you can read a Batman comic and not hear that voice, then I don't know. You haven't watched Batman the Animated Series, probably. Who's my favorite Man-Bat? Probably Kurt Langstrom. Would be my favorite. Did I ever watch Ranma Half as a kid? I did. Oh, sorry. It's Ranma 1/2. I always called it Ranma Half because that's how it's spelled. But they say Ranma 1/2. What is the inspiration behind your name? My formulative years online were on Something Awful, and whenever someone would get mad at people on Something Awful, they'd always go, I guess it really is something awful. And I wanted a name that whenever people got mad at me, they'd go, wow, I guess his thoughts really are slime. Best Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. He's a working class hero, has the face of the puppy and the voice of an even more harmless puppy. Yeah, no, Tobey Maguire fucking sucks as both an actor and a Spider-Man. He just makes silly faces and calls that acting. I don't want to watch an even worse version of Color Out of Space, Louis Aruth. We only watch superhero movies now. What superhero needs a movie? Swamp Thing. Did I ever listen to any of the Adventure Zone? I listened to the first 2 seasons. But I haven't listened to any of the other ones yet. I intend to. Do I own any guns? I unfortunately do not. I live in Canada, where gun ownership is not as easy as it is in the States. Someone talk about Mysterio? Why? Not the silly faces he makes. He's not making them intentionally. There's no intent behind the silly faces he makes. It's just, yeah, he's not good. He looks silly as an actor. I want a Static Shock movie. Actually, yeah, that would be good too. What kind of video can we look forward to tomorrow? Tomorrow, my video is a collection of 23 black creators that you should watch instead of watching my videos. Why don't I like Super Mecha Godzilla? Because his takes are fucking trash. And he is the Jordan Peterson of film criticism. It's just nonsense masquerading as something profound that he can justify by like having the slightest veneer of like film school 101 bullshit. Like, oh, the camera's pointed up, so you can tell in this scene that fucking actually the Transformers are a reference to the military-industrial complex. Like, fuck off. Do you watch any of the DC Universe shows? Yeah, they're my guilty pleasure. I mostly just watch The Flash and Supergirl. Will you ever make a video on how anarchism works? I feel like I've made many. I don't know what to tell you there. That's a big question. Like, how would it work? Like, what do you mean? Did Tobey Maguire do something unusually problematic? No, I just think he's annoying as an actor. I don't think he's good at doing it. And that's okay. Will you ever make t-shirts for Scaredy Cats with the cat logo? Yeah, probably, eventually. If I felt, I wouldn't do it now. I've got like 14,000 subscribers on Scaredy Cats, and so like, it just doesn't feel like people really want it. But if it got bigger, sure. Legends of Tomorrow. My problem with that show is it's so like winky. Like, oh, look how wacky it is. Oh, there's a giant teddy bear. It's so wacky. Like, okay, yeah. What people who stream games on YouTube do you recommend? I don't watch a lot of streamers on YouTube. But I've said it before. I've said it again. I love Northern Lion and the whole Northern Lion circle of people. Basically, I've been watching a lot of his friend Dan Giesling playing Spelunky, and that's been a fucking journey. I've talked about the Hermitcraft people that I like quite a bit. Yeah, there'll be a few streamers also in the list tomorrow that you can check out, but they're mostly Twitch streamers. How do you push past the nausea while editing and generally preparing to upload? I've just done it so many. Like, I've committed. Look, here's. You want to know why I upload once a week? It's because if I didn't, and once a week per channel, it's because if I didn't, then I would just fiddle with every video until I was sick to my stomach. It's just like you just got to put it out there. At some point, you're like, this is done. This belongs to the world. It no longer belongs to me. And you just got to move past it. And sometimes I do look back at old videos and wish they were different, but like, nobody who's watching them is thinking like, oh, if they haven't even started making the video, they're not thinking, oh, I wish this was a better video. They just want a video. Like, Grant Morrison or Alan Moore? Alan Moore, 100%. Grant Morrison, I think even Grant Morrison would concede this. Like, here's the thing. Grant Morrison does comics that I usually like about 20% of. And there's so much in the comic that's a lot. Like, he does really great stuff, but like, it's like all ideas. It's a comic full of like 10,000 ideas, and 2,000 of them will be great. You know? I didn't expect you to dislike the early 2000s Spider-Man. I don't. Well, I don't like. I like Spider-Man 2. The 1 and 3 I don't care about. But I don't like Tobey Maguire. It's so weird to have HC Justin on the NLSS. I always forget about the years I watched him in Minecraft. It's even weirder to me when Pause Unpause is on the NLSS. He's been on like twice. And it's like, what the fuck? You're not here. You're a Minecraft baby. My streams are crossing. Didn't you say at one point you still record on your phone? Am I remembering that correctly? I don't. I don't know where you heard that. I'll tell you, I did recently use my phone for a cameo in someone else's video just because I had to film it outside. And I didn't trust the little spider mount I had with my, fucking $500 camera. Do you like BoJack Horseman? I loved BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman. I keep seeing this video on YouTube that fucking saying like how to fix Diane, and I'm like, you stay away from Diane. Diane's the best character. What happened to King Cuck? Will we ever see more of him, or is he a part of the past? Everybody loves King Cuck now, but when it was only King Cuck, every comment I got was, get this disgusting cartoon out of here. Your cartoon is so gross. I hate the look of him. I hate seeing him. Get him out of here. So, what do you want me to do? Do you actually hate Big Joel? I don't hate Big Joel. No, I fear Big Joel. Because of the power that he possesses as the world's greatest criminal. Big Joel could kill me in a moment's notice, and there's nothing I could do about it. So I fear him, and I respect him. But no, I don't hate him. You can't hate a force of nature. It's like trying to hate the wind. I feel like an idiot, but I didn't know you were pro-gun. Is that a usual tenet of anarchism? Putting power in the hands of the people? It is, and it kind of took me a while to warm up to it. But, yeah, I feel like people should be able to defend themselves. Is Big Joel problematic? No, he's just incredibly powerful. Big Joel is the world's greatest criminal. Right, and it is by his grace that we continue to live and draw breath. Like, see, the comments are all like, bring back KC. Don't bring back KC. Bring back KC. Like, was in the poster in the corner. Is that not there anymore? So it wasn't in the Pixel one. It's not in the CGI one, but the Hammerbeam T Corp, who did the Pixel one, produced the second version with the King Cuck poster that I'm gonna use occasionally. That does have a little King Cuck wanted poster. I prefer Human Thoughts Lamp, thank you. Is Big Joel holding you hostage? Blink twice. I don't know what you're talking about. He's Dr. Manhattan. He's the world's greatest criminal. He's like Phantomas, essentially. Who's Casey? King Cuck. My early videos was an animated avatar that I used because I didn't want people to see my face. Because I was self-conscious that people would... guys, I didn't blink. You're imagining things. I was self-conscious about my appearance, and I thought people would make fun of my appearance. And then they did, and I don't care. Did I see the Trudeau press conference, Slime Lord? Do you mean the one where someone asked him what he thought of the Trump administration's actions and what, if he was going to say nothing, what his silence said? And then he didn't speak for a full 21 seconds? You mean that press conference? Because that was the most beautiful moment I've ever seen in my life. How do I convince my liberal friend to watch your videos? I mean, I have plenty of videos that aren't gonna, like, make liberals afraid. Show them, like a video about Superman or a video of, you know, there's plenty of videos. Don't, you know. And then in the recommended one, it's gonna be like, hey, we gotta get rid of these cops, don't you think? And then they're gonna be like, that's weird. I wonder why he thinks that. Click. Oh, I'm radical now. I put a King Cuck reference in my video game. I'm excited for you to see it if you get a chance to play it when it's out. What is your game? It's a moment of silence out of respect. Chicken Shit Trudeau is a disappointment to his dad, who is Fidel Castro. Absolutely. Oh, man. It's like... Normally he's so slick. Normally he can, like, spin everything. But that one moment of, like, him weighing all of his options, and, like, you could see it on his face. It's like, he was fucking ready to kill that reporter. He was like, how fucking dare you put me in this position where I have to give an actual answer to a question? I think the Garfield Eats vid is a good one to ease people in. That's a good point, actually. I remember last year I was in some financial troubles, and one of your videos talking about how evil capitalism is showed up in my recommends. That's how my path to leftism began. That's awesome. Garfeets is the classic. Are you overwhelmed with requests for your time, or would you be down to give constructive criticism on a posted video? Right now is not a good time. I'm going through a lot of things right now in my personal life. Yeah, I don't know if I can really do that beyond, like, cursory jot notes. Like, you're welcome to ask, but I might not get back to you, is all I can say. Do I listen to any punk? No, I don't. I'm the squarest person in the world. So, anytime I try to put punk on my phone says, no, you can't have it. I'm like, I want to. And they're like, no, it's not for you. Is Garfield Eats dead? No, Garfield Eats is alive. And now, when you go to Garfield Eats, if you order anything over $20, they give you a Garfield face mask. That is not a joke. It's a little, like, medical mask with Garfield's mouth on it. It's... Ugh. And then I saw someone made a list of, like, brands that were hilariously helping, like, with the protests, because the Garfield Eats, like, they put out, like, a Black Lives Matter statement, which in and of itself is ridiculous that Garfield Eats feels the need to weigh in. But someone wrote them up in a list of, like, Garfield supports Black Lives Matter, and Garfield Eats responded with, like, oh, it's great to be on this list, but do they even know about us? Like, visit GarfieldEats.com to learn more. It's like, maybe now, maybe just maybe be okay with that. You got a little press, you know, like maybe don't make this about you, Garfield Eats. I've tried to apply for my listening to punk license for years and they keep rejecting me. Well, I feel like that there's your problem. I feel like applying for a license is nerd shit. That's not for punks. I want to go there. That is my only non-political aspiration. Don the Plague Mask of Garfield. Have I watched the Batwoman CW show? My partner recommended it, but I'm kind of burnt out on those shows at the moment. I have watched it. It is another one of them. Is what it is. And there's also a really weird subplot about how Batwoman's dad runs a private police force in Gotham City, and that's supposed to be a good thing. And like, they keep showing it, and like even the cinematic language of the show is like, oh, these people should not be doing this. But the text of, like, the subtext is like, this is a dangerous invasion force in Gotham. But the text of the show is like, it's good that we need to be tough on crime. And it's a really weird tonal clash. Maybe it's just me, though. You only become a punk by punching anyone in the face that calls you a poser? That's, I feel like if someone called me a poser, I'd be like, yeah, probably. I feel like I probably get called a poser about skateboarding quite a bit. Because I can't ollie. Because I spend hours a day skateboarding and I can't ollie. What was the Garfield Eats sign off, please? I forgot. It's Garfield Eats! Unless you mean love me, feed me, don't leave me. Which is just their slogan. Have I watched the Harley Quinn show? Any hot takes? I mean, I loved the first season. I remember people tried to, like, start a discourse about the show being anti-Semitic, but if you've watched the show, it's pretty obvious that, like, most of the writers are Jewish. So that seems like a weird tack to take. But it's very good. And it's, yeah. What's my favorite sweet? You mean like a candy? Skittles. I love Skittles. I always will. I used to love gummy bears as well. But there are no good vegan gummy bears. And because every company that does vegan gummy bears is like, oh, we're going to make it healthy. Like, listen, if I wanted something healthy, if I wanted a sweet, healthy thing, I would eat grapes. I just want candy. Just give me some fucking candy. And instead, it's like, oh, we didn't use any artificial dyes and there's no added sugar and it's just fucking disgusting. Have I seen The Void? I did. I thought it was a 6 out of 10. It was fine. Did you watch Star Trek Picard? I watched a bit, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I need this. I don't know if I need this professionally made Star Trek The Next Generation fan fiction in my life anymore. It was not very good, and I think none of the people who are in charge of Star Trek understand what Star Trek is or why people like Star Trek anymore. Just make it optimistic. Just make it like it's good. Just and make it like heady sci-fi, where like, oh, they go to a planet where everybody's got violins for feet. Let's talk about that for an episode. Like I don't want it to be just like fucking another show that's all my problems. Oh, here's all my problems on TV again. Except it's all characters that you knew from another television show, but they're not acting like they used to. Who the fuck? Yeah, Picard is like so like sweet and cuddly in that show. That is not Captain Picard. Captain Picard was a tight ass, authoritative father figure. He's not this like, oh shucks, I'm your grandpa type, who's like nice to everybody. He was never like that. And like that wrinkle taken away from him completely ruins the character because it just makes him like anyone else you'd see on a television show. Have you heard the argument that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about the ethics of eating meat? I mean, that's not really an argument so much as it is like the intended reading of the film. Toby Hooper became a lifelong vegetarian after filming it, so. Picard did chill by the end of the series. Not that much. He wasn't like he's always smiling on Picard. And like he was stern. He was always a stern character. And like if it was him kind of returning to that over time, like if being back in this adventure kind of like brought out that in him again, that could have been interesting. But instead it's like Picard is gone and replaced by a different character who's less interesting than he used to be. Thanks for introducing me to Immortal Hulk. Me and my friends all love it now. Immortal Hulk is so fucking good. Yeah. If you don't listen to punk, what's your favorite genre? If it hasn't already been asked, probably. And I know that I'm a big nerd, and you can all live with it. It's power metal. I like it. It's guitars going widdly widdly wee, and it sounds like cartoon theme songs, and I like it. So. Damn, now I wish my ex and I watched the original instead of the early 2000s remake now because I could use it for more veg propaganda. Listen, it's one of the best horror movies ever made, regardless. It is not too late to watch it. It is nothing like the remake or any of the sequels. It is absolutely worth a watch. It took 7 years for him to do basic socializing. Yeah. Did I play any Paper Marios? I didn't. I did, however, play Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. That's one of my favorite video games. Is there a Thought Slime Discord? Indeed there is. Also, which edition did you play? Edition of what? With no other information, I would assume you're asking D&D, and that would be 5th edition. Trying to get from thinking of myself as a poser to thinking of myself as an incredible trickster con artist. Also, yeah, please give Optimistic TV. It's not that I want Optimistic TV in general, it's that, like, Star Trek, to me, its unique niche in science fiction is that it's this, like half corny, like, exploration of, like, what if a future, like, not quite the culture, but like what if a future civilization was cool and a good place to live, and you know, the like DS9 is probably my favorite Star Trek, but I have to admit that it started the problem. Am I into Gloryhammer? Fuck yeah, I'm into Gloryhammer. Are you kidding me? Gloryhammer fucking rules. Favorite faux meat and how often do you eat it? Lots of good veg food without it. I like tofurkey Italian sausage. All the tofurkey stuff gives me incredible heartburn. I can't do it anymore. I don't really eat a lot of fake meat anymore, to be honest. I used to eat it quite a bit. And my favorite was the Gardein chicken strips. Those were real good. But lately, it's been all like, for if I want a protein in a food, it's beans, baby. All beans every day. I'm trying to eat mostly whole foods. Voyager is the best Star Trek. Fight me. If you believe that, you're not worth fighting, to be honest. Have I listened to the Magnus Archives? I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to call it a night pretty soon. The thing about Voyager, every Star Trek is an ensemble show. Voyager has 2 good characters. It has 2 good characters, 1 and 3 good actors. It has Janeway, the Doctor, and the lady who plays Seven of Nine, Jerry Ryan. Seven of Nine, not a great character in and of herself, but Jerry Ryan's performance kind of elevates it. Beyond that, the cast is fucking awful. Like Tom Paris or Harry Kim. Like, who the fuck are you even doing? And like, tell me the difference between Tuvok's character and Spock's character. Like, honestly, interrogate that, because he's just a Spock dropped into the show. Except that Spock had growth. And Tuvok is the same at the beginning and end. And what a fucking waste, too. Because the whole premise of Star Trek Voyager, that it's like a Starfleet crew and a Maquis crew trapped in the Delta Quadrant, it's like, what a great idea on paper. And then, like 3 episodes in, they're all Starfleet and it's just Star Trek and it's never brought up again. Do I watch any vegan food YouTubers? Yeah, I watch a few. I like Simnit Nutrition. He's my favorite. I like Voyager for the plots. The characters are shit. I feel like the show should have both. And most other Star Trek shows do. They seriously should have kept that Tuvok Neelix fusion from that transporter accident. He was great. Yeah, because it would accomplish the dual action of making Tuvok interesting and getting rid of Neelix. The worst character in any Star Trek series. Worse than Wesley Crusher. Waiting for the inevitable, it worked on paper. You know what? You're right, I missed the step there. I should have said it worked on paper. Communism works on paper. Listening to Renegade Cut's video about Berman influence on Star Trek just pissed me off. Yeah, that one made me angry too. Although, I think Renegade Cut would be upset with my opinion about Voyager. Favorite John Carpenter film? I think The Thing is his favorite film, but my personal favorite would be Prince of Darkness. Because that one scares me the most. Even though it's a really goofy movie. And if I had no one but me on Earth would ever be scared by it. But I was. The Salamander episode is the best one. The Salamander episode, I love the idea because there's also it's a good parallel to that episode of Next Generation where everyone evolves backwards. So like, human beings apparently came from like rhesus monkeys and eventually will become salamanders, and Klingons are spiders. Neelix was great. These are the worst takes. Neelix fucking sucks. Why would a starship with... Okay, you know what? Here's how you make Neelix a passable character. Not a good character. Passable. They're stuck in the Delta Quadrant. The fucking replicators don't work. So they need a cook. There you go. That's all you had to do. But instead, the replicators do work. They're fine. And they have a cook anyway. Doesn't make any sense. The show knows it doesn't make any sense. And just writes it like it doesn't matter. The solution is right in front of their nose. Barclay becomes the spider? I thought it was Worf. Are there any video games that explore anarchism? Tonight We Riot does. Now he defends the salamanders? I'm not defending the salamanders. That was a ridiculous episode. That was one of the silliest episodes of television. Like, just the fact that like that's an evolved being. Like we'd lose our ability to talk and become salamanders. That's not even how evolution works, because it implies it implies that evolution is like already what we're going to become is like pre-coded into us, and just needs to be activated by going warp 10, which by the way they've done like 1,000 times. That wasn't the first episode that they went to warp 10. Warp 10, sorry. Worf turns into like a predator / crab monster. Why would Barclay turn into a spider? Barclay was but a man. Haven't I heard of Devo? I mean, I know Devo. The new wave band. I don't know what they have to do with the situation. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. Truly incredible. $5,000 for charity is just... I don't even know how to express my gratitude and my amazement with your generosity. And now I need to figure out how I'm gonna donate that. So I'll be calling the bank tomorrow. Thank you so much. This was truly something I don't think I'll ever forget. So thank you. I need to go and render my video for tomorrow, but this has been incredible. And yeah, anything I can say other than that would just be how incredible this is. So, thank you.